Welcome to Lakota West Stadium, home of the Firebirds, where Brent Phelan and I are about ready to bring you the state playoff game, which is typically the rivalry, the East-West rivalry. The two Lakota schools are going to meet here in the playoffs, so not due to COVID, we're not going to miss a year, Brent. So it's good. Two interesting teams here, and Brent, we were talking about this before the game. Very interesting that both of these coaches are from the Kerry Combs coaching tree. Both run triple option typically, although Bolden, as we said, is not really running triple, but East will. So what's your thoughts on the game?
Well, it's an exciting game, and as you mentioned, it's great that we get an East-West matchup this year. Mm-hmm. Both of them had to win their opening playoff round last week. West had no problem as the number 1 seed playing the number 16 seed West Claremont with a 44-0 win. And East, on the other hand, had to revenge an early season loss to Sycamore, but were able to come around last week and win that one 28-10.
Well, and you're saying, a little earlier, Brent, East kind of had an interesting season this year. Started out 0-3, and then you're catching them when they're hot. They're 4-0 since that 0-3 start. So they've won 4 straight games against pretty good competition. I mean, Princeton is a really signature win, coming back and obviously getting better and beating Sycamore last week. So they're a better team than they started the season out. I think they're a better team than that 4-3 record talks it. So West is going to have their hands full today. Obviously, West is a higher seed team here, but when these two teams meet, just throw everything out the window. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's always interesting. The one thing that you talked about their pedigree for both head coaches with Cole Rain and with Kerry Combs and the triple option. So Rick Haynes left there. I think he's been at East now for 11 years. Before that, he was actually at, I believe, Thomas More for 3 years. Right. So he's 14 years removed from Cole Rain and has maintained that triple option. Right. He's kept that as his approach. Whereas Tom Bolden's just his second year over at Lakota West from Cole Rain. And it's interesting. I mean, when he came here, even last year, he said, hey, I'm not just bringing everything. We're gonna bring some of my stuff over,
right?
But I'm also going to allow you, Lakota West. Let's work with your athletes and some of the things that you have, and see if we can get a little broader.
Which is smart, and we've talked about that. But I mean, it's different. At Cole Rain, you run the triple option when you're at Little Cards. I mean, you're running that thing from when you're 7 years old till you get to high school. So it's well known. They run it in the off season. I mean, those guys really know the triple, and the triple is not as easy as you might think it might be. With who you're reading and, who you're giving the football to and the pitch back. And, there's a lot more to the triple, and I don't think the West kids quite have that yet. I mean, they've only really been exposed to it for 2 years. And he's got a little interesting situation where he's got a quarterback, his son, who has run it, sure, and has run all his life, but he can also throw. I mean, he's also a quarterback that can throw the football. And West has some special athletes, right? I mean, they've got some pretty special Division I type athletes. And we talked about this last week. Their D-line is strong.
It's strong.
And that's big. What it takes to beat, you have to take the fullback out of the triple option, force the quarterback to run, or, it's just assignment football. You've got, in fact, when we used to practice against it, you don't even use a football. This guy's your guy. This guy's your guy. This guy's yours. I don't care where the ball is. That's where you go. You don't even watch the football, so it's an interesting offense to defend. And looks like East is going to kick off the West. Interesting, they kind of all bunch up there. I guess he can run out there and kick it if he wants to.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting, right? West had 2 special team long returns, one for a touchdown last week, and one to I think the 3-yard line.
Yeah, if I'm watching films, I'd be. Trevor Hoffman is kicking off. He's a junior for Lakota East. He's going to kick the ball deep. And, yeah, I'd be a little afraid, and I'd stay up at night worrying about these guys that return the ball.
So there you go, yeah.
Oh, good.
So, that's interesting. The kick was a little bit short, high enough, though, that he caught it around the 20. I thought he could make it to the left side. Obviously not. Adrian Davis was taken down by number 20 for Lakota East.
Josh Thornhill.
And
senior running back, defensive back.
Yeah, and we're going to see Josh here, so you're going to see it around the 24-yard line.
Wow, big hit. That's a great special teams play.
Just came out of nowhere. And Josh Thornhill's a guy you're going to see. He's also a receiver, and running back.
DB.
A running player for
DB.
them. So he'll be on the field quite a bit.
He's a pretty solid tackle. It looks like he got him as a DB. He's starting over at the right They run the 53, so he's playing a wide half.
So here we go. Lakota West going to start it right up the middle. And, I want to be clear. We talked about, Lakota West not the triple option.
Right.
We're not talking about really a pro set offense.
No.
88 passes in 6 games, so just about 15 passes a game, whereas Lakota East was 68 passes in 7 games, a little less than 10.
Yes.
So 15 versus 10, yeah, but not a lot. And so there you go, second down, try to get right to the line of scrimmage and run it there, and weren't able to get a whole lot there from Mitch Bolden. So we're going to be third down and close to 1.
Yeah, West starting right now just running behind that big offensive line, Shabola and the guys. They're big up front, and they're going to want to try and wear East down. I don't think East near as big on the defensive line as West is on the offensive line. So I think Bolden's going to try and just wear them down a little bit and run right at them.
So you've got number 7, Mitch Bolden, the quarterback there in all black. A little bit of a delay on the running back.
That's going to be close.
Good job. He see where they spot him.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be a little short.
Looks like he is going to be short. So it looks like we're dealing with a 4th and 1 here for Lakota West inside their own 35-yard line, right around, I think.
He's going to punt.
And as we mentioned last week, you're going to see they don't spot the ball anymore. They put a beanbag there.
Right.
Each team brings the ball out with them, a COVID rule.
Right.
So it's going to be a punt for Lakota West. So not a great start there right off the bat.
Yeah, 3 state dive plays basically right up the middle. And East, does a pretty good job of holding that off and stops them about a yard short. So
35, Gavin Bowie is going to punt. Good snap, good kick.
Very
good
kick.
high,
Wow.
fair catch, called for at the 25 or 26-yard line of Lakota East.
Yeah, great coverage by West also down there, just as they were there. Looks like number 2 down there for West on that is
That's Alex Afari.
Far, yeah.
Yeah, Alex is a junior who definitely has some Division I offers himself.
Oh, yeah.
He'll also be on the corner, playing cornerback here. Nick
Alex,
Rabin is who caught that, and caught the fair catch there for Lakota East. So here we go.
East with very similar colors. West has kind of gone to that black and red motif, and Lakota East is black and gray.
So you're going to see a lot of number 1, TJ Kathman. He's a junior. He's the quarterback. He's obviously the leading passer and also the leading rusher on the team with over 500 yards. Full start there on the left side from Lakota East. Not what a triple option wants.
No, you do not want to. It's not it's not something you try and make up a lot of yardage with. And, you don't want to get in behind in the game. If West is able to get a lead here, and plus you don't want to do this against West
So
defense.
you're going to see really at the very bottom of your screen, you're just going to see the tight end move just a half cadence early.
Yep.
And you're going to hear a lot about that tonight. What you don't want in the triple option is to chase the chains.
No.
And at 1st and 15, when you're running the triple option, you're hoping to get 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, 15 yards, and try to bounce that. You don't want to have to, go back there. They're going to hand the ball right on the pitch.
Oh, they got the pitch. He got it there.
So good
block out on the wing by the corner, who got a really good block out there on the corner, and that usually gets you some yardage. The corners have got to come up, safeties have to come up and support the pitch.
So we talked about him earlier. That's Josh Thornhill.
But this
number
is triple.
20.
If you watch this, look, they take the dive back,
Kendrick
they take the quarterback, but no one's out here. There's no support from the safety or the corner coming up, and there's lots of running room out there if you don't get out there.
Number 10, Cy Walters, the safety with the tackle.
Safety made the
Never
tackle.
like to have your safeties have to make that play on the wide side. But again, that was the same guy, Thornhill, who made the great special teams tackle. There we go, what you expect to see right up the middle. And that's going to be well more than you need for the first down.
Yep.
On the handle, that's TJ Kathman, number 1, the quarterback.
So Kathman fakes a dive and then goes right behind him, basically. He picks up the first down. So he's doing a good job here. I mean, he ended up with 1st and 15, and 2 plays they picked that up. So.
And what you're going to see a lot, you're going to see number 5, the fullback, Charlie Kendrick. So basically, he fakes to him and then follows him. He gets an extra blocker.
Right.
And a blocker with a running start straight up the middle.
Yep.
So certainly a good play there, and they're out.
Although
First
this
and 10 at the
option
40.
shouldn't be something West hasn't seen, Brent. I mean, they see it every day in practice, so it shouldn't be anything new to them. They should be able to get out there and get it stopped, but we'll see what happens.
There we go, Thornhill in motion. Quarterback Kathman's going to cut it back up the middle and going to get about 3. Jackson Kuwatch, 33, one of the tacklers there.
Right.
Leading tackler for Lakota West this year, linebacker.
Kind of a misdirection here on the triple. They got option going there. They fake it on the inside handoff, and then Kathman keeps it and comes out this way. But good
and Cy
defense.
Walters, again, 10, was actually the first man to get there.
And Kuwatch, the leading tackler, one of the linebackers, was there to take care of it. So he, good reads, good fall on it. So they stop him for about a 2 or 3 yard gain.
You'll see Luca Rubio, number 75, is the center for East. He'll be carrying the ball around. There we go. Interesting. Faked it up the middle. Faked the pitch, which fooled the Lakota West player. And
Yes.
Kaufman then kept it. Was able to advance it another 5 yards. So it's going to be about 3rd and 2.
He's very elusive. I mean, that was very good. He pitched it. Lakota West had done a pretty good job of defending it, but they just missed it. They just missed the tackle. As you'll see here, he reads it, not there, and then see right there's the guy. He didn't. The guy didn't tackle.
Yeah,
him.
number
Didn't
8
make the tackle.
Jones, the outside linebacker there, was in position.
He made. Yeah, I mean, it was. He just didn't execute. I mean, he was in the right place.
And the other thing you'll hear a lot when you watch playing against the option is you got to take your man. His man was the quarterback.
You just take him out. You don't worry about the pitch.
You can't take 2 guys.
So you got a 3rd and short here, big play.
So they're
going to run straight dive, and he's not going anywhere.
All. Wow. Actually,
wow,
I think they may mark him with no gain, but it might have even been for a loss there.
It might have, yeah.
That was a pretty good play. And you talked earlier about defensive lineman. That's number 90 for Lakota West, Andre Prophet, one of those big men. Just wrapped him around and threw him down.
Get back here. Yes, get back here. You're not going there. Where are you going, little guy?
So big play there. That was a big stop, and they're going to force him to punt here from near midfield.
So both teams, punch you a little bit, come out, test the other one, running the football, and both of them get, the defenses end up stopping them, although West has kind of flipped the field here. East.
So Andre Prophet, 6'3", 290, made that tackle, one of those big defensive linemen for Lakota West we talked about. Good punt. Going to get a good roll inside the 5-yard line.
Line.
Wow. Still moving close to the 3, it looks like, where it's going to be down by Lakota East. So Lakota West is going to start 1st and 10 from their own 3-yard line.
Yeah, Davis let that roll down, and a little surprised because it looked like he could have fielded that and picked it up earlier, but he got away from it, didn't want to cause a fumble or, a turnover that far down. So.
And it looked like he gave him a little more credit than he needed to on the punt. So the punt got a little bit short. He needed to come, that was one of those.
Come up and field that on the bounce.
And field it quick. So Lakota West here is going to start from their own 3-yard line. So if you remember last week, they started with plus field position the entire game.
Right.
Obviously not the case. They've started inside the 25 and inside the 5. So we'll see what happens. You got Bolden and shotgun. Just going to hand the ball around the left side. Running back is going to try to cut it inside. He's going to gain about 2.
Past the 5. Yeah, got 2 or 3 yards. Running over towards Chabola, 77, that big left tackle that, everybody and their brother wants to go to. So they're just trying to use that big offensive line. This is the one point of the field, Brent. I don't like shotgun.
Right back to the line of scrimmage. That was good.
Yeah.
Cameron Good, the running back, leading rusher this year by a yard over Mitch Bolden. So here we go. There you go. You see Bolden faked it to Good. And it holds it, keeps it himself, follows him back the other way, gains about 5.
Yeah. So they have a chance to get the first down here. They've got it out from the shadow of their goal line. They're out to about the 7-yard line.
And that's the thing we're going to notice. We talked about that Kathman's the leading rusher for Lakota East. In this case, Bolden, number 7, is the second leading rusher for West by 1 yard.
Right.
So here we go. Big play here. It's 3rd and a long 2, maybe 3.
From the 10.
So we'll see what they do back here. He's going to back, quick pass out. Catches it behind the line of scrimmage and is not going to get enough. Looks like he's going to gain about a yard.
If that.
But he's not going to get the first down. So that's look like number 8. You see who it is? Is that? They mentioned Cy Waters.
No, that's 10.
I think it's 18, isn't it?
I thought it was 10. But
10 is Waters. So perhaps if he is,
Walters,
we'll take a quick look here.
Yeah.
May have stepped in here. They
went out to the screen, but East played that very well.
Yeah. They were, number 15. Trent Lloyd was out there trying to lead block for him and didn't get it done. So here we go. Bobbled the snap. Boy, and it's going to be a touchdown for Lakota East. Wow.
Wow, that's a big play. I mean, special teams, we talk about it every week. That's a big play. I mean, their punter gets the ball inside the 3. West can't get it, and then they block the punt.
So let's work backwards on that. So that's Caleb Van Hooser, who actually, is going to make this play for Lakota East. Bobbles a pretty good snap. By the time he kicks it, he realizes that Van Hooser's there. Punter then drops the ball instead of punting it because he knew it was going to be blocked and dropped it in the end zone for Van Hooser to pick up or land on top of for the touchdown. So
first blood, Van Hooser comes up with a block and a touchdown recovery. West on a big special teams blunder.
So there we go with 5:33 here to go in the first quarter. We'll see what Lakota East is going to do here for their extra point. Looks like they're going to there they go. They're going to kick. I don't know what they were doing there. They were thinking about it, but it's Trevor Hoffman, number 17, lined up to kick the PAT for Lakota East. Snap, placement, and kick.
So East draws first blood, and East, right now their defense playing well. I mean, they're standing up against this West offense that we talked about last week. The offense didn't really do a lot last week.
That's right.
It was mostly special teams,
and throwing
punt
the ball.
returns, and
And usually, though, they threw the ball short and had some big runs.
Right.
After yards after catch. What's interesting there also to notice, so 2 possessions for Lakota West. Both times they gained about 8 or 9 yards in 3 plays.
Right, that's about it.
And because of the field position, they had to punt. One time they punted pretty well and pushed East back. The second time, as you mentioned, East was able to get a first down in there.
Yeah, there's
they
a
were able
good
to punt
picture
it
of
deep.
Coach Bolden. He can't be happy right now with the start of this game. I mean,
And
it's a long game. You don't want to panic, obviously. You had a special teams touchdown, go against you. So you want, you just want to get the kids, minds right and go, okay, we got time here. And Ben Houston didn't, or
Ben Hooser?
No, I'm sorry, the kicker 17.
Trevor Hoffman.
Trevor Hoffman did not kick the kickoff particularly deep.
And you can see where Lakota West is lining up. They're lining up actually outside their 20-yard line, around the 22-yard line. So hopefully, from their perspective, if they can catch it there, they got a chance for a good return. Now, last time, it looked like it might have been set up for a decent return, but Thornhill came out of nowhere and cut the return guy down.
Who's that back? I can't.
Looks like
quite
number
catch those
15, who's Trent Lloyd, one
And
of the
then
wide
probably
receivers.
Davis is number
and
5.
typically 5, Adrian Davis is the other guy. So now they're moving back a little bit further. I don't know if they were that might be their safety position, the way East lines up for the kick.
Probably just a hands team.
But still, they're both back just inside the 15-yard line. Looks like Lloyd's going to catch that right around the 16-yard line, bring it straight up the middle. Good return, still on his feet.
Well, good return. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. If you're Lakota West, you want to get a good starting position. As he got the ball up the field.
Yeah, it looks like
did a
almost
nice job
around the 42-yard line. So there he is, catches it around the 21. One quick cut, brings it up the field and runs through a couple tackles.
Yeah,
and
Lloyd
actually,
did a nice job.
Could have gained several more yards if he could have broke one more tackle, which he about did.
You never know if he broke that tackle, he made it gone.
And what's nice to remember, if you remember last week with Lloyd caught a quick pass, made a spin, cut through some guys, and they made a spin move inside the 10 to score a touchdown. So even though he's a sophomore, he's a powerfully built young man.
And he's strong.
And can make some plays.
Good instincts.
So here we go. Handoff right up the middle. A little bit more room, a little better surge from the offensive line. That's going to be a nicer gain, 5 yards this time, I believe, on first down. So you're going to see this pretty quick here.
Ed Bolden, 72 for West, just drive. Look at him drive that linebacker off. He drove him out of the screen there. I mean, he was driving him off the ball. He got a hold of that linebacker and just moved him back.
So Cameron Good with a 4-yard gain, I guess is where they're going to spot him. So it'll be 2nd and 6. 47-yard line for Lakota West here. Here they catch the running back coming around side. Yeah.
Nice cut.
Another nice cut, nice spin for the first down.
So the first down for Lakota West.
So I guess we were a little bit prescient there. I mean, there was Trent Lloyd did the spin move again and gained an extra 3-4 yards for the first down.
Lloyd doing the Lamar Jackson spin move.
And getting Lloyd very involved so far today.
Yes.
A couple nice plays there for him, and here they are already at the 45-yard line in Lakota East territory. Looks like we got a false start here on the right side, darn it, for Lakota West. The wide out got a running start.
So, again, West can't be happy right now. Bolden can't be happy with the start. I mean, they finally start getting a little rhythm going, get a first down. They're moving. They're in East territory, and then they shoot themselves in the foot. So
and we just saw number 77, a massive young man.
Yeah, it's hard to miss him when he moves.
Tegra Shaboa there. I don't know that penalty was on him. We just saw him in our screen there. It looked like maybe it was somebody on the outside. So here we go with Bolden, 1st and 15. Going to run the ball straight up the middle and a little bit to the left side. Good run. Kept his feet moving forward. That's, once again, that's number 25, Cameron Good. Nice gain. The thing is.
Got all that back plus 5.
Yeah,
so got 10 yards on that.
So 2nd and 5 here. The thing you'll see here, runs through one tackle there.
Good blocking there. The kid's staying on the block.
Good effort by Caleb Rao, which enough to allow Good to run through the tackle.
Yes.
And then he fell forward, right? He ran forward the last 3 steps after contact again. So that's big. Here he goes again, straight up the middle. Another nice gain.
Wow, first down.
First down and more. Looks like that interior of the offensive line. Oh, penalty late. We'll see what happens here. There was some blocking going on about 20 yards past the play. You mentioned earlier Ed Bolden. Ed Bolden and Tegra Sabola had a guy blocked, 30 yards downfield?
Yes. And I think that's what Bolden's trying to do here. He's just trying to wear down that East front. I'm not sure. It looks like West is backing
Yeah,
up.
West seems to think that this is going to be on them.
I hope it's not 15 because that's a problem.
Yeah, and I'm guessing it probably will be because don't know what else it could be that far down the field.
Yeah, that's not going to be good for if you're a Lakota West fan because that's that's really going to screw up their this momentum they had going.
So it would be interesting to see if it's dead ball, live ball. We're going to see if it's offsetting. A lot of different
coach
things
is trying to
could
pull
go.
Bolden back, so he
it's-
doesn't agree with it.
So it's a
Personal
dead
foul.
ball, personal foul.
Yep. So it goes after that's after the play, and Bolden's not happy about it.
Yeah,
77,
it looks like it's on,
Shabola
calling it
down.
on Shabola.
Yeah,
So
again,
we'll see.
he's so big, you can't do anything because people are going to see you do it. Bolden not too happy about that call, but nothing you can do about it. The call's a call.
So here's what's interesting is
They got a first down out of the play.
they got a first down. It's dead ball. So it actually is 1st and 10, just moved backwards.
Well, it's first and about 12, it looks like.
Well, no, it would be the first down because
first
it's
and
dead
10,
ball.
yeah,
It'd be
dead
1st
ball.
and 10. It just would be
Farther back.
removed back. So
Yeah.
we're back to the 47-yard line of Lakota East.
Which is probably good. I mean, that could have been a devastating, you've ended up in 1st and 15 or 1st and 20. It's not what you want from their offense.
and you got to. I tell you what, if you're an offensive line coach, another nice run,
Oh,
breaks
nice
through it
run.
like good, still on his feet,
Still
comes
going,
back,
breaking tackles
that.
all the way down. Wow, that's a big run.
takes the ball to the 20, and that's
Nice
4
answer.
And that's 4 or 5 runs in a go,
Yes.
in a row that they are just taking it to the Lakota East defense.
Yeah, I just think it's the size of the offensive line up front. They're just bigger, and they're starting to wear them out. I mean, early in the game, you've got some adrenaline from the East.
Here we're
but-
going to see it replay.
Yeah, you're just going to see. He bounces this thing outside. I mean, East has it kind of stacked up, but he gets to the edge. There's nobody out there setting the edge, and he just runs through and throws 4 off of him.
And that's what's impressive is he is running through tackles. The guy that makes the tackle just hung on for dear life.
He just threw 4 on the ground like Derrick Henry did last week where he threw Fowler on the ground.
So here we go. 7-0 Lakota East, 3:18 to go first quarter, but Lakota West is on the move. First down at the 20-yard line of Lakota East. Looks like they're going to, nothing fancy right now. They're just continuing to run the ball up
They're
the middle
running good up the middle.
and see what happens, right?
And they're pounding. Yeah, good answer. They just want to go down, score a touchdown, even this thing up at 7s, and, go from there.
Cameron Good is the leading rusher for Lakota West, and he's shown why. Those last 4 or 5 runs, it's been nothing but him so far here. So that
why change it?
Yeah.
I mean, why call anything different? I mean, so far, the East has not shown any ability to get him stopped.
So that was a 2-yard gain. So here we go, 2nd and 8 for Lakota West. See if they do something a little bit different. Going to run it around the left side. Look at that. Not even touched till he got 4 yards downfield. Now, there wasn't much space after that. Gain's going to only be about 5 or 6 yards. But the offensive line is definitely doing something. And that's where, going back to that penalty, if you're the offensive line coach or the head coach, you're not that
Here's a replay
upset.
on this. You're just
So
going to
there you
get
see
out
the
there.
pull. You see a nice block by Lloyd on the end. Kept the guy engaged. Allowed 25 good to cut it inside. It's going to be
Big
3rd
play.
and 4.
Yeah, big play here.
Really big play. I assume you're in 4-down territory here. So this is one of those you don't need to do anything crazy, anything fancy. You want to make sure you get positive yards
Oh, you
here.
got a really good kicking game here. Do you
To
want
put
to
yourself
take the
in
points
position.
potentially? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're off early in the game to give up points in 4-down territory. I guess we'll have to see where they go.
Oh boy! So instead of cutting it upfield, he tried to run it around the left side, bounce back, drop the ball. Good, recovered by number 3, Jordell Smith for Lakota East. Wow!
So, there's 2 fumbles, 2 turnovers, costing Lakota. It's points. I mean, 7 points on one end, giving it up, and there's the fumble right there. I mean, a nice play by number 33, the linebacker for Lakota East actually stripped the ball.
Got in there, got his hands in there. So it's 1st and 10 for Lakota East from we'll see where they spot it, right around the 20-yard line. We'll see where they end up with this thing. Looks like maybe the 19. So, wow. I tell you, if you're Lakota West, you're pretty despondent there. Defense arose to the occasion.
Yeah,
there on the
defense
first down.
stepping up there on the flat dive to 34 for Lakota East. They shut that down pretty quickly. I mean, there was nothing there.
Saw number 99 involved in the play, Bryant Henderson, defensive lineman, 6'1", 260.
Eric Davis was the running back there and just got, found no running room there.
Yeah, it looks like they marked him for maybe a gain of 1, so 2nd and 9. But if you're Lakota West, you're pretty frustrated, right? You ran the ball at them successfully.
Yeah, you're pushing the ball down the field. Everything's going well, and you end up with a fumble. So you walk away from no points.
So here we go. Looks like for the first time today for either team, back to pass. Wide open receiver. Good
Yeah,
throw
nice
and catch.
Yeah, good design play. Just brought the tight end over from the right side on a little drag play.
Yeah, and that's Jack Hartman, he's the leading receiver for Lakota East, the senior.
He was wide open. You'll see him. I mean, they run a little boot. He's out there, and he's wide open, running across the middle, and got into the zone, found the soft part of the zone, and good execution, good well designed play for East, and well executed.
Yeah, they ran a couple of receivers deep, so they ran the corners and kept the safety back, and
linebackers
brought him underneath.
Didn't get deep enough,
The linebackers just didn't stay with him. So 1st and 10 from Lakota East, their own 39-yard line. Here they go again. They're going to run the ball straight up the middle.
That was Davis again running the ball, but ends up picking about 3 or 4 yards. So that's good run from those guys.
Yeah,
I mean,
looks like they spotted his knee down for only a 2-yard gain.
Oh yeah.
Another nice play on the inside of the defensive line there. So
the West defensive line's doing their job and kind of containing this dive. I mean, when you take away the dive on the option, obviously it's a big part of the option.
So if you're Lakota East, you're pretty happy now, right? You're up 7-0.
Sure.
You really haven't done a lot.
No, everything's going your way.
But you've got the 2 turnovers, one that scored points and one that took points off the board, really, for Lakota. There you're going to not what you're looking for there.
No. You want to try and maintain the momentum, and those penalties kill you.
So with 32 seconds to go in the first quarter, you're going to have roughly it'll be second and about 13 now.
Kathman's doing a good job all the way along. I mean, he's a good athlete. Their quarterback. I mean, he throws the ball nice. Drop that ball out there to on the pass play for a nice gain. He threw it perfectly. They don't throw much, but apparently they're pretty effective when they do.
And the thing about him is, when he has thrown the ball, he's actually, fairly effective. I mean, 38 of 68, so, over 50%, which out of a triple option is pretty good.
Yeah.
And he's thrown for 700 yards, so, that's almost 15 yards
wide open
another
receiver,
wide open receiver he hit.
Yeah, I mean, wide open.
So big play there.
Sideline, yeah.
That's Charlie Kendrick, number 5, one of their leading receivers, but he's actually out of the backfield.
Right, and I mean, right now they're
runs the ball a lot.
Yeah, they're designing some nice plays and getting open. I mean, both those receivers.
We'll see that again.
Have been wide open.
So you're just going to see him go right out to the left side.
Nobody with him.
Yeah,
nobody get out there. Outside linebacker didn't get out there in the flat to cover that, and boom, they've got 2 really successful passing plays.
You saw Cam Vargas, number 44. So at the end of the first quarter, it's Lakota East 7 and Lakota West nothing.
Yeah.
Hey, Cindy.
Hey!
Westchester wants to know, how do I apply for employment?
Applications are online at www.westchesteroh.org. Applicants can go there to see what positions are available. Applications need to be completed, signed, and returned to Westchester Township, and that can happen one of 2 ways. They can mail it to 9113 Cincinnati Dayton Road, Westchester, Ohio, 45069, or the second way to submit an application is by email, which is hr@westchesteroh.org. If you have any questions, you can always call us at 513-759-7217. If you have a question for Westchester Wants to Know, visit us at our website or one of our social media pages.
Welcome back to Lakota West Stadium, where everything Lakota East going for them, in the first quarter. We're coming back to second quarter action in this state playoff game, and right now, like I said, everything going for the East, Brent.
Yeah, Lakota West heavily favored at Lakota West today. It is a rivalry game, so we get that. It's very quiet here for Lakota West. Now, I get it with COVID. We've got a pretty low, 1,500 is the max attendance here.
Really weird to be at an East-West game.
But as you mentioned, Lakota East scored a touchdown on a Lakota West fumble in the end zone on a punt, and they just took points off the board.
Yes, they were in at least field goal range.
Now there's a fumble back the other direction. See what happens here.
Looks
Lakota
like West is
definitely
saying
thinks
they got it.
That would be huge.
East is saying no, they got it. I don't know who's got it. They're unpeeling them right now.
Looks like he signaled second down.
Yeah.
So it's going to be second and about 9 for Lakota East inside the 40-yard line of Lakota West. We'll see what happened here. So There he was. Took it. Yeah, and it was a fumble, but number 43 was the man of the time there. It looks like. See if he ended up with it.
No, it's right here.
Yeah.
This guy right here it came back out again.
So yeah, that ball was loose, but it
It's
obviously
like one of the offensive linemen jumped on it.
So that's huge. So 2nd and 9, and we thought maybe there was a way to it was going to balance back the other direction. 2 turnovers for Lakota West, none for Lakota East so far, but East did put the ball on the field. So here we go.
Oh wow.
Here comes a reverse. We'll see what happens. See if they can tackle him in space, and they
And they
do.
do.
That's Cy Walters, number 10.
Cy Walters is just
yeah.
so solid.
Cy's I believe, a 3-year starter, a
He
senior.
is. He's a
Did-
senior.
Did a nice job there.
Had the fumble return for a touchdown last week.
and
but
we're going to watch
just a
this. We're
great
going to see
job.
look at the assignments.
This is covered.
You're going to
Boom,
see
quarterback's
hit.
Yeah, they had pitch
We had
guy.
somebody on the pitch, and here comes the safety
And
on the backside.
Safety comes up, sets the edge, and doesn't allow contain to get broken.
So that was Caleb Van Hooser who scored the touchdown
Yep.
on the punt block.
Loses about 4 yards
Yeah,
on that.
What a great play. I mean, I think if you're Lakota East, you can see the coaches next to us. They thought
Yes.
they had it.
Yes.
They had West was aggressively going to the left.
They thought, they looked out there, and if they got by Cy, there was a lot of running
There was a
room.
lot of room there. It looks like Lakota East is going to have to take a timeout. They were running a couple of players on the field late. Didn't have the right personnel group there for 3rd and 13, which is, again, we've talked before, not what you normally like out of the triple option. But
Although,
their
they
passing game has been
game.
tremendous.
Yeah, they're 2 for 2.
2 for 2 and
Probably 15 yards.
and both first down plays.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you're West, you want to, kind of figure out what's going on there and get this. You don't want to give up a 15-yard play here for another first down. Let East keep running the ball.
So what do you do here if you're Lakota East? You're 3rd and 13. You're in Lakota West territory. Worst case, I mean, you've already punted and pinned them once, which resulted in a touchdown for you. Lakota West, the first 2 times they had the ball, didn't do much with it. The last time they put a drive together and really moved the ball down the field. Just
You
flat
don't want a
running it at you.
turnover here on a forced pass. Probably a screen. I'm thinking a screen pass, some kind of draw play or something. I don't think this is a typical down for East to try and get. And you sure don't want to throw an interception or something that gets returned, a long way. I mean, right now, just, you're winning, everything's going your way. Take your medicine, punt the football if you can't pick up the first
So
down.
there you go. Good pressure. They're just going to throw 1-and-1 down the sideline. Nice,
was out of
nice
bounds.
catch by Kendrick.
He was out of bounds.
Kendrick is another, just like Kathman, they play basketball. I mean, they're nice athletes.
Good athletes, but I think
they
he's
got
out
a
of
great junior
bounds.
class. He is out of bounds. But you know what? It was just a one-man pattern. They used to call it the wheel route, right? The back of the backfield just runs down the sideline.
Good pass. He put it on where his guy could catch it.
Solid.
He's just out of bounds.
Solid position from the coverage perspective.
Yeah, it was pretty well covered.
He didn't really. Aiden Miller didn't make a play on the ball, but he was right there.
It's a smart play. Went, kind of went down the sideline.
So
only their guy could get it, and they're going to punt him, put him in there. Hopefully force.
punt.
Not a good punt though.
Yeah. Oh, and it even come back more. Wow.
That looked like my 9-iron today.
That's pretty
Just
impressive
check
at Rivers
that up.
Bend.
Oh, heck
yeah,
yeah,
wow.
yeah.
So
Unfortunately, it was 30 yards short, but oh well.
So a short punt. After the punt and the return of the punt bouncing back, it's going to be Lakota West 1st and 10 from their
Looks
own
like about a net 10-yard punt.
32-yard line. So they're in good solid position here after starting inside their own 5 once and inside the 25 once. A little better position here. Obviously, last time after Trent Lloyd's nice return, they did start outside the 40.
So, Brian, if you're West, you just want to have a good drive here. I mean, not fumble it, not turn it over, not let East stop you. You just want to do the best thing you can do here.
So here we go. Quarterback's going to keep it right up the middle. Mitch
Oh,
Bolden
wow.
still
Wow.
on his feet, past midfield to the 45-yard line of Lakota East.
Well, he was one tackle away from breaking that the whole distance.
But the last time they ran, 4 or 5 times to good
Yes.
and with success.
And they
This
fake
time-
it there, and
he
everybody
keeps
goes
it.
that way. And, man,
Yeah.
Bolden took it off the backside.
And again, as
picked
we
up great
mentioned,
yardage.
Bolden is the second leading rusher by
Right.
only a yard, so not a shock that he runs the ball quite a bit. Here he goes. Quick pass out to the side to Lloyd. Nice tackle again. I tell you what, that's number 20, Thornhill. He is here to play tonight.
They're coming up on these little screens and things. You just wonder when they're going to go downfield once, because those corners are coming up quick on these passes. I mean, do you run one of those inside receivers on a go route and try and throw it? Because it looks like they're coming up fast in support on these screen plays.
So here we go. It'll be 2nd and 11 for Lakota West. Bolden still in the shotgun, and you're going to see that all day. Hands the ball right up the middle to Good. No, he keeps it.
He keeps
Fooled
it.
me.
Oh yeah. No.
So fake to Good. Good fought through the middle and really pulled a lot of attention.
Yes.
And a really nice play by
Well,
Mitch
but all
Bolden.
those runs that Good had early he's drawing a bunch of attention there. You see Bolden just cutting up and taking advantage of that. Holds on to the football there after pretty good tackles.
So it's interesting to see. Last time Good ran the ball down their throat. This time we're seeing a lot more Mitch Bolden. So here we go. We'll see. And you can tell that's a true
Bolden,
read.
what a
Bolden
great move.
hurdles
Wow.
somebody at the 25-yard line, gets it down to the 15. If we get to see a replay of this, you're going to know this is a true read. The ball,
This is all read.
So
This is read.
he's got
He's
the ball in
reading
there.
right
He can
zone,
leave it,
reading it.
and he says, "Nope, I'm taking it back."
I'm taking it.
And so he takes it back from Good, and from
breaks
3.
a couple arm tackles, hurdles somebody, and
Yeah.
he gets down there. So he's down about the 15-yard line.
So he took the ball away, faked it to Josh Brogdon, and then right up the middle. There you go. This time he lets it loose. And I think that's Brogdon again. Yeah, Brogdon's going to take it for about 4 yards right up the middle, maybe even 5, but what do you do there? I mean, so if you're a defensive team, I mean, both guys have that ball for a second or two.
Well, it's again, you're running option and read option. You take your guy, whoever it is. I mean, if you got die back, you go get the die back, and if you got quarterback, you get the quarterback. You don't worry about it. You don't worry about what he's doing. He's reading something, and you don't worry about it as a defender. You got to get up and take your guy because that's what you're supposed to be doing. You practice it all week.
So pretty big. He's gonna. Looks like he faked it to Brogdon again, kept it himself. Nothing
didn't
there
work
this
out.
time. No. So he's actually going to lose a yard, Bolden.
Yeah, at least.
This play, and there was one of those where there were 3 defenders, and they really were just kind of waiting to see what happened. You'll notice it here. They were just like, okay, who's going to get it? They didn't overcommit.
He almost should have
either
given
way.
that to Brogdon.
So they didn't overcommit and put him in a position where number 66, and he's made a couple nice plays there. Caden Hibbard, a junior defensive lineman for Lakota East, made a couple nice plays in the middle.
66 has been good for Hibbard's been real good for East in controlling.
So big play, 3rd and 7. Bolden back to pass. He's going to throw the ball across the middle. Touchdown, Lakota West.
Who was that?
Good throw and catch. We'll see who that's Adrian Davis.
Yeah. Adrian Davis, another good play. He just found it inside of the zone. They were in cover 2. He just loops around in the middle, found a soft spot in the middle, and Bolden with a nice pass.
So Bolden from the shotgun.
Yeah, you'll see him just kind of get into
Steps
the middle.
back, does a nice job looking.
They're running zone, and he's just in the middle of the 2 safeties, and he's open, and boom, gets it.
So that was number 4, Kyle Poppy, who put the hit, but just a little
Coverage
bit too
out
late
there,
on that perspective. And I tell you what was nice. There's the snap, hold, and kick. And so there we go, 7-7. So that's huge, right? Answer 60-some yards.
Very big. I mean, and West is dominating this game so far, at least offensively. They're moving the football. They're just, again, shoot themselves in the foot.
So with 7:41 to go in the first half, we're all knotted up here at 7. Here's the replay again. You're going to see he's going to fake. He's got 2 receivers to the right. You'll see Bolden, the quarterback, his head
looks
looking
off,
there.
so good job.
There.
He looks out to
all
the
defense
wide
is
receiver.
looking there.
And he is open out there,
Yeah.
which is funny. He did have a receiver out there open, but
A backside
comes
receiver.
back to it comes back to the seam. He's wide open for the touchdown. So good job by Bolden, who's running the ball, throwing the ball well. They get back on. They've tied this game and taken the momentum back. So the defense, this is big, I think, for them to come out and stop them.
and it'll be interesting, right? Because Lakota East offensively, a couple pass plays have been their most successful.
Absolutely.
So, which is weird. It's not what you expect.
No, I mean, Lakota East averages about 3 passes a game. I'm not sure that and that might be on the high side. So,
But what's interesting, they do average about 15 yards of completion, which is what we've seen, two first down completions.
Well, play action works really well when you run option. I mean, obviously you got to respect that. You got to respect it.
So here we go with a good high kickoff through the end zone, which if you remember from last week also, we certainly saw our share of touchbacks.
Right, I got to recover. I mean, I gave all the credit last week to Bolden and his special teams play. Joe Spatafora has been the coach, the special teams kicking coach for West for the last 5 years, and I got a little earful, my son did, from Joe calling, going, "What the heck is your dad talking about?" He goes, "Tom Bolden doesn't know anything about kicking, and why is he giving him all the credit? The kickers are me."
So I will say, though, again, number 41, Matthew Howard, the kicker with the touchback. I'm
Very
sure
nice.
the coaching helps, but I think the leg has something to do with it also.
Well, he is supposedly one of the higher-ranked kickers in the state, so I think he's going a couple places. Catherine tries to keep the ball on the outside, and West is over there and got him shut down for a small game.
Yeah, not much there. Saw Andre Prophet, 90, involved in there. And that's the thing. Probably 75% of their plays have been stopped for less than 2 yards.
Yes.
And But that is what happens. Vargas was also involved in the tackle. That is what happens with the option, right?
Yes.
2 yards, 2 yards, 2 yards, bang.
Touchdown. Yeah. It's high risk, high reward offense. And you're right. You stop it, and then you give up. Ask Princeton back in the 60s and 70s, Mancuso, who was the really person who ran a lot of option and had it manufactured. But that's what happens. You put the ball on the ground, you don't do it very well, but then all of a sudden, somebody misses an assignment, and the running back goes 70 yards.
So that's going to be interesting here. We do have a illegal substitution call on. I'm not sure which player it was, but what it.
I didn't even see that. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody illegally substituted. Came in late, didn't get in time.
After
Didn't
the
come
huddle
past
or something.
Didn't come past the numbers. There's a lot of little nuances to it there. But again, not a good thing if you're Lakota East. That makes it
I don't
second
think you
and
can
14.
substitute after you break the huddle, correct?
So that's the 2nd and 14. Here we go. See what happens here. Definitely a good thing. Back to pass again.
Throw.
And same thing that they've been. They tried on the left side there, right? They threw a one-on-one pattern, threw it up for grabs there just to see what happens.
Yeah, 13 on the coverage there. Good coverage. I mean, he's got him the whole way. The only guy to have a chance for that football was West.
Yeah, that's William Barber, one of the cornerbacks for Lakota West. And Thornhill, who we've talked about making a couple nice tackles.
Sure.
Thornhill's on special teams, defense, offense. He's all over the
He's
field.
everywhere.
For
He's a good
Lakota
athlete.
East. And it's,
Good athlete.
It's nice to see that. The question you sometimes find yourself with that, will he be able to do that for 4 quarters?
I don't know.
If when you play the whole, play
you get
all
pretty
those
tired
things,
when you're doing that.
you can do it for a while, and you certainly can do it on adrenaline for a while.
But with
boy,
as physical as these games get, I don't know.
and and there the quarterback's going to keep it again, just not much there.
He gave off the fullback and didn't get much out of it. Davis maybe 34.
So he's going to gain about 4 yards. Is going to be all that he got out of the play. So not much there. He's there we go. TJ Kathman a little bit fired up there. He thought he was either held down or pushed a little bit.
Well,
We'll
there's always a lot of this going on.
It is East-West. So there you go. He fakes the fullback.
Oh,
brings
he's got
himself.
it. Yeah, Kathman did keep it.
Tackle, he ran into the back of Profit.
Oh, he didn't like it right there or there.
Yeah, so so there's Profit coming over. So basically, after the West defensive line stopped him on 3rd and 14 for 4,
they kicked him a couple
all just
times,
ran right across him to make sure to tell everybody they'd made the play.
Huge play though is they stopped them.
So there we go. Nice
job. Yeah, that was very good of them coming up.
I assumed Adrian Davis called.
He called it. It looked like a fair catch to me.
Yeah, and he stopped after he caught it. He did stop as if it were a fair catch, and then he ran. But
I think it took a while for them to blow the whistle on that. That's why I think he did. Maybe that was heads up where he didn't hear a whistle, so he took off.
And I think what would happen there is that they called the fair catch, but the punt was so short, it looked like he wasn't going to get to catch it.
Right.
And then at the last minute, he ran up and caught it. And I think they forgot that he'd already called the fair catch.
So big play by the West defense. They shut East down in 3 plays, 3 and out. And the short punt puts them inside East. They're starting on the 45-yard line of East. So great field position for West to come back and maybe get the lead here.
So here we go. Going to bring it.
Bolden again.
Bolden fakes it around the left side to Brogdon and takes it a little bit inside the near left, not the wide left.
Yeah, that read has really gotten East. They're a little confused by it. And Bolden is pulling it out the last minute and just taking off.
We also saw number 73, Lathan McComas, come all the way around pulling from the right side back to the left side. So that's a lot of beef. If we look at that offensive line, you've got, number 73 there, Lathan McComas, 6'3", 270. I see number 71, Cole Barella, out there also. Nice block, and there we go.
Bolden
right up
again.
the middle again, Bolden.
They're just exploiting the inside of this, and they're using that big offensive line.
You mentioned it early. Mm-hmm. There is a difference between the size of the offensive line and the size of the defensive line. There you go again. That was 73 McComas came across on a trap and planted one of the Lakota East players.
They're just blocking them at the point of attack, and West is getting up the field, not having to really make a move till they're 5, 6, 7 yards deep into the East backfield.
You'll see number 54 Connor Hudson is the center. There you go, back to pass, wide open out the middle. If you saw that, easy touchdown to Trent Lloyd.
Wow, Trent Lloyd, there he is again.
And that's sophomore to sophomore, Bolden to Lloyd.
Wide open.
You got to like that for your next couple years for Lakota West.
But that works so well. I mean, it was such a good design. I mean, they've been running the ball, runner all. They run play action. Lakota East sucks up, and you end up wide open. I mean, you see this. The play action holds it.
So you'll see Lloyd maybe here. He he basically does somewhat of a double move. He comes across, the defense steps up thinking he's going to, come across sideways, and then he just extends it deep to the post.
Yep.
Touchdown. And you know what I like to see there from Mitch Bolden as the
So
kick from
Hoffman
Howard
knocks it
is
through,
right
yep.
through. But what I like to see from Mitch Bolden, earlier it seemed like we saw Mitch, he would try to make the perfect pass, hit the
Right.
guy in stride. He did this time. He's had the wide open receiver,
Just
threw
get
it
it out
to
there.
him, touchdown, move on.
Get it to where the guy can catch it, touchdown, move on, like you said. And it just Bolden having a nice game right now, running the football, putting so much pressure on him defensively. Linebackers can't get back into pass coverage because they got to hold for the run because it's been effective. So Lakota East establishing the run, establishing the line of scrimmage, and that's how you win football games at both sides. I mean, they've got the line of scrimmage on Lakota East. On the defensive side, too, they're controlling it there. And East has not been able to do much other than a couple passes.
So it'll be interesting. 4:42 to go. Lakota West has now taken the lead 14-7 on Lakota East. Obviously, for Lakota West, terrible start, right?
Yes.
2 turnovers, gave up points in both ends. Gave away points offensively and gave the East defensive points. And now here you are. You're still 4 minutes to go in the first half, and you've got the lead.
And you've got your super kicker, Hoffman, who's
Howard.
Howard, and he is coached by Spadafora. And he's been, I think Joe is the reason this kid's as good a kicker as he is.
And it would be big, right? If you can get another touchback here, make them start at their own 20 again.
Oh, yeah.
And there he is. He's
Wow,
driving it
that's a
through
weapon.
the end zone.
It's such a weapon to have kicking that ability. There's no run back. I mean, look at what East is putting the ball around the 15 or 20. And, West is getting good field position out of it. It's such a weapon to be able to have a guy that can kick it through the end zone.
So, again, when you're running a triple option, you have to start at your own 20.
Right.
That's a long road to hoe.
And you're down 7 now. And really, they haven't scored anything offensively. They got their points came off of a blocked punt or a fumbled punt, whatever you want to say. It was a special teams blunder. So, East continues their defense to not give up many points.
So we'll see what happens here.
For West.
See if Lakota East does anything different. There they go, going to fake it up the middle, and the quarterback's going to keep it. A little more there. He's going to get close to 5 yards.
Yeah.
See where they spot him. I think it's going to be close to 25. I see number 90 Prophet involved there. I see number 99 Henderson involved in the tackle. We'll see it here. Fakes up the middle.
Fullback's been shut down.
Yep.
There goes Coughlin around the edge.
Looks like 44 is probably the guy that initiated. Cam Vargas, and the middle
Vargas,
linebacker
yes.
got the first arm on him, and then everybody else finished there. Let's make sure we point out Mr. Vargas. He was a little challenged in pass coverage earlier, but he sure made a couple of nice plays in the run defense.
Yeah, I mean that was 5-yard pickup by Coughlin, but that it's hard when you run triple option. It's hard to do anything different.
So here we go. They're going to run the
That's inside,
kind of the old counter trap.
Little counter buck or whatever you want to call
Yep.
that, where you fake one way and give it back to the guy going the other. Usually pretty effective, and usually pull a lineman and try and trap that defensive tackle.
See that again. Was that number 9 Malik Hartford with that tackle here? Or number 8? We'll have to see who makes it. I think it's number 9. Number 9. Nope. Actually, it was number 33, Jackson Kuwach.
Yeah, Kuvac made that play.
Yep.
Did a good job in reading that.
So
and he probably read the guard pull in, came up inside to step up and made that play. So good job.
So gain of 1 on the play. We'll give him that. Makes it 3rd and 4. And gosh, if you're
Another
Lakota
penalty
East, another penalty like that. So
Yeah, this is falling apart on East right now. If this is a penalty on East.
yeah, it looks like they may have substituted and added the 12th guy. We're on the field at the same time after they'd broken huddle. We'll see.
Same thing, same play.
So,
Illegal
yeah,
stuff,
gosh, boy,
That's
3rd and
killing
4.
'em. 3rd and 4. Yeah, that for this offense, 3rd and 4 versus 3rd and 10 is a long difference, or 3rd and 9 is a long way different.
You got that first 5-yard gain. You felt solid. Timeout Lakota East here. I think the coach is a little frustrated in that those late substitutions resulting in 2 pretty critical penalties. They're only
Very much
5
so.
yards, but when you get them on 3rd down.
Yeah, and the last thing you want to do here, I mean, they call them timeout, but there's 3:19 left in the half. You're giving West some time here. I mean, if you don't pick this up, there's a lot of time left in this game, and I think Bolden's got all 3 timeouts left, or West does. That's a lot of time, before half. And I think Haynes realizes that, and he's calling a timeout, and he wants to get the right play in there, and he'd like to pick this first down up, I'm sure.
So they've had some success throwing the ball. Now, twice they threw to backs out of the backfield successfully for nice plays. 2 other times they've just thrown one-on-one fade patterns, kind of throw it up for grabs.
Right.
that's a hard.
You got trips over here to the right, so it looks like a pass play.
But I mean, that's pretty hard to out-athlete Lakota West, throwing it up
it
for grabs.
really is.
Oh,
Ball's
tough
dropped on the snap.
They're going to go ahead and run the screen to the left. It's going to be a big gain.
Big gain. That was a good play. I mean,
Still on his feet.
Just a middle screen they ran there, and it was effective because West came in, hit the quarterback as he threw it, but a lot of yards.
Yeah, that's going to be Charlie Kendrick, number 5, is going to come out of the backfoot. He starts out just the
a
left
little
side.
middle screen. They dropped the ball. Looks bad. So he got rid of it. As soon as he picked it up, got rid of it. Got a lineman downfield.
Yeah.
And then, Kendrick just picks up some yardage there because nobody's there.
So he's going to finish that right at their own 44, 45-yard line. So that was a big play. 3rd and 9.
Big play.
And that was really nice hands from Charlie Kendrick, right?
Yes, it was. And that really, a good play by the quarterback, too, to get it there because he was under some pressure to get that done, to get there. So they run straight dive there. Another pitch.
Yeah, good block out that way. Again, Kendrick was a nice block downfield.
Yep.
Allowed them to get about 6 yards on the play.
I'm having trouble seeing this. They're doing, Kendrick doing a good job, faking out everybody. Did a good job. You're going to see him here.
So there you
Didn't
go.
give the
Kaufman
dive, comes
fakes it,
out,
pitches
gets the pitch.
Pitches out to Thornhill, and there's Kendrick, number 5. Maybe got a little jersey there, 13 Barber.
Good blocks,
though. Nice play. See Walters, number 10. Kuwach, number 33.
Those stock blocks out on the edge can mean a difference between a 10-yard gain and a touchdown.
There we go. Going to bring Hartman, who's the leading receiver, back into the backfield. Back to pass is T.J. Kaufman. Doesn't see much. He's going to pull it down pretty quickly, but he's pretty nimble. Nice run for the first down.
Yeah, he's very elusive. And if you get him out in space, I don't think I'd want to try and get him tackled.
So it's kind of interesting. Now still, with under 2 minutes to go, we now have Lakota East in the Lakota West territory. So from 3rd and 9 back in their own territory, wondering, boy, are you going to give West the ball in great field position? They've actually extended this drive.
Yeah, and they're now
successfully. This is their best drive of the day.
Yeah, with 1:48.7. I mean, again, it's tough for the option to gain big yardage unless you get a pitch out there and they go. But this is tough. I mean, they still got a long way to go to score.
Only one timeout left as well.
One timeout, and they just called that one back here to make sure they got that 3rd down play together, and that worked well.
So 1st and 10 from the Lakota West 42-yard line. Been a lot of misdirect. Back to pass. You'll see Kendrick going wide open out of the backfield. Nice catch.
That was a nice pass. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm really impressed with this quarterback from East. I mean, he throws the ball. For a guy that doesn't throw much, he threw that well. He threw it his back shoulder throw. I mean, he was actually covered pretty good, Kendrick was. But he threw it on the back shoulder, and he spun around and caught it. The only place that, anybody's going to get that was the East receiver.
So it looks like they're going to be a 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line. We're going to see it. You're going to see number 5 starts on the right side, gets faked to, and just runs right out on the wheel route. Quarterback off his back foot, puts it right there just short.
Good coverage, actually. I mean, decent coverage, but he puts it on the back shoulder.
But once again, Aiden Miller didn't see the ball coming in.
No.
He was in great position. Here comes the reverse coming all the way around. He's going to get run and start. Going to take it into the 18-yard line. Alex Safari, number 2.
Comes off the
tackle,
block there, yeah.
Yeah, with Lakota West. So, again, their best drive of the night.
Moving the football down to 44 seconds, and they've got a stoppage. I don't know who called the timeout on that.
You would like to think Lakota West would not have taken a timeout there, that it would be East using their final timeout of the half. So here we go, 42 seconds to go.
Lakota West they're down to 0. That was an East timeout.
So Lakota West up 14-7. Lakota East threatening.
42 seconds left, but Lakota East throwing the football pretty well right now. Brent, you got to be a little concerned about that if you're West, and part of your strength is your DBs. I mean, you got the kid going to Ohio State and Brown, and you've got some pretty good, solid coverage guys out there, and they're right now getting beat.
But what's been interesting is we're seeing the linebackers.
Yeah.
Because they're throwing to running backs. The other thing that you have, Lakota West most of the season has been able to fight to hold it down the other team's passing game because of the defensive line penetration.
Yes.
It's hard to penetrate like that when you're worried about the triple option. You're trying to sort out all the fakes.
Well, you're not rushing. You're not pinning your ears back and getting upfield. You're penetrating. Looking for the fullback, and quarterback running the football. So you're not getting much penetration. You're not trying to get upfield. So, the pass is pretty effective.
To the running backs.
Yeah, very much.
So those running backs, then that means the linebackers have to stay with them, and that's what it is. They've really taken the cornerbacks, Afari and Brown, out of the game because they're not throwing to the wide receivers.
East running trips and then put Kendrick in motion. They're going to throw out into the flat to him.
Same thing.
Yeah, they flooded the zone. And just a pretty good play.
Yeah, it'll be 1st and goal inside the 10. And
did he get out of bounds? He didn't stop the clock. Well, it stopped it for the first down.
He did not get out of bounds.
So they'll start as soon as they set this.
We'll see what happened. Clock running at 30 seconds.
Now, yes.
They may go ahead and spike it, stop the
Yep.
clock. There you go.
Out of timeouts is East, so they spike it. 27 seconds left. Ball on about the 10, 12-yard line. So
Yeah, it's going to be just inside, so it looks like it is in goal.
So you got a field goal potential here too if you can't
So we'll see
quite
this
get
again.
there.
But, yeah, all they did is ran Kendrick in motion.
They put 3 receivers out to the left, ran them off, and then ran Kendrick out of the backfield out of motion into that zone.
And it's just linebackers
Yeah,
who
there's
have to
nobody
make the play.
left. I mean, yeah, somebody's got to get out there. He's in motion and running. Linebackers got to try and get out there and catch him. That's a little tough.
And one time you say, oh, well, maybe they ought to do a little more nickel, bring a defensive back. Well, against a triple option, it's hard
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
to do,
it's
right?
really tough to
Because then
do.
they should be able to come back and run the ball.
Because at any point they can run the ball.
You know, Kaufman's done a nice job here and Coach Haynes, I mean, willingness to throw the ball to those backs out of the backfield. Here we go. Kaufman back to pass. He doesn't have
he's
any
gonna
time.
get sacked, and that's going to be trouble.
That's,
They got to get set up pretty
Yeah.
quick, and it's third down too, isn't it?
yes, it is because they spiked it. So
Yep.
it's going to be third down.
So you can't spike it here. Oh, wow.
Now, what's
They're
interesting
going to kick
is,
a field goal here. Is what my
well,
question
and I'll
is.
tell you, they're fortunate because the guy on the end wasn't set.
Yes.
And, you know, obviously in order to do that, you got to get
Got
set.
to be set for a second.
So they're going to definitely get here. You can see.
But he
this
was
is 2 plays
looking.
ago.
He was looking to the back
Here's
right
the
here to
sack.
your left. He was
Yeah.
looking, and Kendrick got knocked off the ball. He's not there. And
Ball
then
got a
there's
little
the
bit
sack.
loose on Henderson's
Yeah.
sack. So they spike the ball, makes it fourth down. They're going to try a field goal of about 35 yards.
Are they on a 25-yard? Yeah, they are. 25.
So we'll see what happens here with 12 seconds to go in the half, trying to cut that lead. Snap, kick. Kicks up way
Got it
short.
blocked.
I probably got a piece of it.
Yeah, he got a little piece of that. So good job. That was Afari. Number 2 got in there and got a little piece of that, I think.
Yeah, so Alex Afari is an incredible athlete. He's a
He's very
junior.
much watching. He just extends. Boom, there. Got a little piece of it, just enough to where it's not going anywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
it barely made it to the middle of the end zone.
Alex Afari is a 6'3" athlete, plays corner at
Yeah.
6'3", has Division I offers. I know Washington State, we talked about last week, was one of the, one that you don't hear all
His
the
brother
time.
playing
here in the-
either UC or Miami.
He's at Miami.
Miami.
I actually had texted what David texted me yesterday. He's,
Okay.
there's 8 running backs in the running back room. 4 of them are freshmen, and he expects to get some playing time next week in their first game, which I think is November 4th.
Well, he carried the load last year out of the backfield, and he was the guy. Now, 8 seconds, I'm guessing, with the lead, they're not going to do much.
Let's run
here.
the
They're gonna
ball
run the
unless
ball.
they can make something happen.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to do much. Yeah.
Not a whole
Just
lot
hold on
there.
to football.
And that's
That's
looks
it.
like Josh Brogdon, so that's going to be your half. So
So halftime, 14-7 is your score. Lakota West has the lead after a really shaky start. Came back strong. So we'll come back. Brent and I will be back here after the end of the half.
Hey, Kathy.
Hey,
Westchester wants to know, why are there so many hotels?
well, while Westchester is home to many great businesses, we don't really get to decide who comes. Businesses do their research, and based on demographics, based on accessibility, they decide whether or not they want to locate here in Westchester. Now, while we try to help facilitate the process of who comes and ultimately who stays, the businesses themselves make the ultimate decision. If you have a question for Westchester Wants to Know, please visit our website or one of our social media pages.
Welcome back to second half action. I'm Dan Zevink. I'm here with Brett Phelan to bring you the second half of Lakota East versus Lakota West in the state playoffs. A traditional rivalry game. Didn't think we were going to get it this year, but it turns out just because of the playoffs and the way that's working, we got it, Brent. But Brent, a pretty interesting game. Really in the first half, it looks like if you look at the stat sheet, West dominated. But the thing on the stat sheet that really stands out that hurt West is 2 turnovers.
yeah, the 2 turnovers, one directly resulted in 7 points for Lakota East. The punter for Lakota West dropped the ball in the end zone, picked it back up, and then saw the rush coming in, didn't punt it, dropped the ball again, and Lakota East landed on it for a touchdown. And then the other turnover, Lakota West had the ball inside the 20-yard line of Lakota East, looked like they were driving in. It was a 3rd and medium, so either that they were going to try to, chance to score the touchdown or at least a field goal when they fumbled there and took it away. So easily it could have been, no points for Lakota East and 17 or 21 for Lakota West, but that's not where we are.
No. We're 14-7, a good ball game. It could be anybody's game still. But West is, we talked about this. West is kind of dominated. Their offensive line is way bigger.
And their defensive line. So
Right.
on the line of scrimmage, Lakota West has definitely got them outmatched and outsized, which makes it even more impressive that Lakota East is sitting here down 7, getting the ball back. As we've talked before, the third kick for Lakota West today and the
Out
third
of the end zone.
touchback. So again, Matthew Howard with his third touchback, that's a weapon. I mean, when you
That's
make
a
a team
huge
running a
weapon.
triple option have to go 80 yards.
Every time.
That's a challenge. We saw that last week with West Claremont. They never made it 80 yards for the touchdown.
No.
So far tonight, Lakota East has it. Their best drive was the last drive of the half. Ended up getting a field goal attempt with just a few seconds to go. Alex Safari, the fine athlete from Lakota West
Blocked it.
from the outside, got a hand on it, and it came up well short from 35 yards. So here we go. Lakota East ball, 1st and 10 from their 20. TJ Kaufman, number 1, is going to run it up the middle. We saw a lot of him in the first half. Kaufman actually rushed the ball 7 times for 20 yards, passed the ball 5 of 7 for 94 yards.
Right.
Wow.
So he is the offense for Lakota East.
So you're going to see this, fakes the dive up the middle.
Steps back. Missed tackle.
Yeah, Lakota West was back there, had a lot of people on the pitch man. So Kaufman did the right thing, tucked the ball and ran up the middle for almost 6 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 4 from the 26-yard line for Lakota East. See what they do here. I mean, that's what he did a lot of, right? He called his own number quite a bit in the first half.
Right there he is again. And gets the first down, gets up and ends up picking it up. So Kaufman starting out, he was the offense in the first half for him, and he comes back right now starting out to be the offense for the second half as he gets the first down.
So 2 carries, and they got the ball to the 31-yard line, 11 yards. That's pretty good.
Yep.
First half, he averaged less than 3 yards a carry.
Right.
And I think his long in the first half, wasn't very long. I think it was 6 yards. So Lakota West did a pretty good job on him.
We'll see the adjustments here.
The hard part was Charlie Kendrick out of the backfield, 3 catches for 51 yards. That was, nice spin move.
Oh, he had him, dude, in the back.
Yeah.
West had him in the back for a 3 or 4 yard loss. He spins out of it and picks up, 5 yards, 6 yards.
Yeah, so Kaufman right off the bat, 17 yards and 3 carries so far.
And they had this defended well.
Fake to Kendrick one way, had Thornhill coming the other way. Lakota West was all over it.
And defensive lineman number 98.
Yeah, it looked like, Viaz was the guy that missed the play in the backfield. So here we go.
He
again.
had him dead to right, and he just allowed him to escape.
Yeah, that's a niche. So here we go again, 2nd and 4. Now, when you're in the triple option, you love 2nd and 4s.
Yes.
So here we go. He's not sure where to go.
Oh, there's
Wow.
nowhere to go there.
There was nothing happening that time.
Yeah.
And you know what was nice is the Lakota West defense really strung it out. They didn't overcommit on any one part of that
And
option.
one of the players for West came out hurt on that.
See what happens here.
Number
We're
8, I
going
think.
to see the replay. You're going to see Kaufman fake the ball up the middle. He comes back. Now 98, right there, stopped the inside, allowed 44, Vargas.
To
make a play.
Yeah, you see the kid coming out hurt. Number 8, I think that was for West.
And that could be Jones, I believe, the linebacker.
Yeah, Jones. Looks like he got his arm hurt, so we'll see what happens there. You don't want to see one of your linebackers go down and play in the option.
So big change here, 3rd and 7, back to pass. Going to try to throw the ball down across the middle. Another
Wide
nice
open,
throw
yeah.
and catch. That was a well-thrown ball. Hit him in stride for a
On the
nice
slant.
gain. It's going to be 1st and 10 inside Lakota West territory.
Yeah, it's tough to stop the slant in high school football. And you see it. I mean, I'm really impressed with Kaufman. He did a nice job, and he's throwing the ball very accurately.
Looked like that might have been 19, John Scott.
John
with the
Scott
catch.
comes down. Yeah, they just ran a slant on the inside seam, and and Kaufman just hit him in stride, picked up good yardage.
So here we go again. Kaufman,
Pitch.
yeah, pitch is wide. Oh, well, if that was a good block, then I guess great play for Thornhill inside the 30. It looked
I
like a
think it's
block
gonna
in the
be
back.
No, I think it's going to be 15 yards on roughing the quarterback. They tackled the quarterback and he threw it in the
After he'd already
backfield.
pitched it?
After he'd already pitched it. So it could be a 15-yard or half.
We'll see
you
that.
see
So-
it here, yeah.
So you're going to see Kaufman, number 1, comes back, pitches the ball.
And then right there.
And
And I don't know. That's a tough call.
Yeah, and there's a
block in the
there's a
black,
block
but
in the back.
it could be that, man. Yeah, they're moving it forward, so I think that's going to be a unnecessary roughness. 15 yards added to the end of that.
And it was a pretty aggressive play. I mean, he
Yeah.
definitely
He knew the ball was gone.
he knew the ball was gone. he had time not to make. He wasn't.
Didn't have to. Yeah, he didn't have to hit.
There was
him
enough
that hard.
time to avoid it.
It's hard not to say that's it, but East putting together a pretty good drive here to start this out, trying to get this game tied up.
So 1st and 10 inside the about the Lakota West 17-yard line. So wow, that's another big play. But even without the penalty, that was a big first down.
Yes, it was.
So here we go. He's going to pitch it wide again. Ball's on the ground, still fighting for it. Looks like Lakota East fell on it for no gain.
Yeah, the running back was able to get over there and get it back.
Pretty big play there. You're going to see Kathman come to the right, looking to pitch to Thornhill, and really had the ball caught on his hip. So when he tried to pitch it, there was not much he could do there. 99 Henderson, and it looked like maybe number 32, was it Nick Brady maybe? Or I couldn't quite tell who, or I'm not sure exactly who was on the outside there. So 2nd and 10 here from the 16-yard line.
So he's lucky not to lose yardage on that or lose possession.
So here we go. Get the guy moving. That's Kendrick going left, and then, wow, nothing there at all for Thornhill. We talked about Thornhill. Thornhill was an impactful player in the first half for Lakota East. He made a great special teams tackle.
Right.
He also ran the ball several times, as well as made a couple nice tackles from the defensive backfield. So the question is, Dan, when you're playing against a team that's mostly two platoon, can you continue to make big plays like that over and over? Especially when you're 8 games into the season, right? I'm sure most people out here have a few nicks, but he's had a nice.
Yeah, Thornhill's had a nice game. He's been impactful for the whole thing, and he's playing both ways. So
he had 6 tackles, including a tackle for loss in the first half. Here you go, Kathman back to pass. Did a nice job. He saw and it's going to be close to the first down. We'll see where they spot it.
Going to be real close. I mean, Kathman's doing
Looks
everything
like
right.
Looks like he's going to be. And you saw what happened there. He had good penetration coming up from the outside. Once he saw that, he ducked under it, and when here you go, you'll see it.
Was this 3rd down, and are they?
That was 2nd down. So there you go. He saw his, set up his defensive line or his offensive lineman to block the defensive lineman, and then ran underneath him to get to a 3rd and 1.
You got a penalty though.
Looks like it's a holding
on Lakota East.
Yeah,
they're going. I was wondering because they had the third down marker had not moved.
Looked like Searveld, number 72, is who the ref was talking about. Looked like he signaled that he kind of bear hugged somebody. Right. I didn't see it.
I didn't see that
but that
either.
Was the signaling.
But a huge call on Lakota East. I mean, that's a 10-yard penalty from the spot.
So instead of a 3rd and 1,
inside the 5.
Yeah, it's now a 3rd and 24 from the 30-yard line. So
that's a little tough.
That's huge. So back to pass, straight pass, going to run it right down the middle, hit Kendrick.
Oh, he was open, hit him right in the hands.
First time tonight it didn't happen. You can see
Kendrick was open, it hit him in the hands, and hit him in a bad place, right in the hands.
Charlie's a little frustrated. He's made a couple really nice catches, including one of the incompletions he caught out of bounds.
I mean, he was open on this.
So really nice play, good pass protection.
Good pass, put it right there. I mean, that should have been a completion to the 5, maybe a first down.
And that was Aiden Miller again, right with him, but Aiden doesn't have it, and again, he's a linebacker.
Right.
And, at this level, you're like, boy, if he could just get his head turned, he might have been in a little better position. So here you go. Now it's 4th down and 24 from the 30-yard line. I don't know what you do.
The kicker doesn't have the leg for this, so you got to kind of go for it.
I mean, a punt doesn't do much for you.
And the way the passing game for East is going, I mean, that was there. They just did not execute that. That should have been a touchdown, or at least to the 5. I mean, that ball hit him right in the hands, and he was a step behind the defender.
So here's the question. So it's you're at the 30-yard line, 4th and 24. So you need to get inside to the 5 or 6-yard line.
I don't know that if I don't come back to that play, or at least that play, maybe the reverse to Kendrick, and he got 14 tapping 5 on the back, so they might be calling it the 5 here. It looks like it's going to go to Kendrick.
I think he might have just been giving him, hey, it's all right, man. You made a lot of nice plays today. You'll get the next one.
Yeah.
But the question is, if you're Lakota West, do you drop back a little bit more coverage? Do you add another defender? I mean, come on. Are they going to run the ball for 24 yards?
No.
So they're going to throw the ball, and they've been very effective throwing it. Like I said,
think you go into cover 2 here.
So that's his
2 safeties back.
So there you go. You're going to see a lot of defensive, a nickel, right? You're going to see.
If you're a safety, you can't let anybody get behind you here.
So you see the 5 defensive backs there. You got 1 linebacker inside, and you're still bringing some pressure.
I mean, they got to get to the 6-yard line.
So they're going to throw it down into the end zone and almost got it on the tip drill.
Yes. Like Aaron Rodgers.
I'll tell you what, I think if you're Lakota West, you're like, how do we have that many guys back there? And the 2 guys closest, the guy that gets his hands on it first to tip it is Lakota East.
Right.
And the guy that was closest to catching it was Lakota East. It's like,
right.
wait
Where
a minute,
is everybody?
But all that being said, it's 1st and 10, Lakota West from the 30-yard line.
It was a nicely thrown ball by Calvin.
It
Got
was.
I mean, that was very well done.
And that was Kendrick again, number 5,
Mm-hmm.
who went up. And I tell you, Charlie's a nice athlete there, right?
Sure
I mean,
is.
basically he just went up for a jump ball and
smart at Catholic. I mean, you might give your best athlete a chance to catch the ball. You don't know what's going to happen.
so here we go again. We're going to see what's happened now on the offensive side of the ball for Lakota West. Mitch Bolden was a lot of the offense.
Yes.
8 carries, 76 yards rushing, 4 of 4 passing for 44 yards.
And 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, so Cameron Good was also the biggest, 9 carries for 50 yards. Mm-hmm. So certainly didn't miss much there. And if you hear what sounds like pretty good offensive numbers, he had 26 plays, 180 yards. Lakota West didn't fail because their offense couldn't move the ball.
No.
They really and fail. They're up 14-7. But their struggle was the 2 turnovers.
They killed them.
So there's a penalty. Weren't many penalties in the first half. 4 for Lakota East, 2 for Lakota West. We've already got a couple here for Lakota West this half, that personal foul,
Right.
and now this one. Although Lakota East did have a couple tough substitution fouls on third
Right,
down.
they killed them.
That really put them in a bad position when you're a running offense like they are. So here we go, Lakota
Both
West.
teams are not, playing
Real sharp.
Yeah, they're not.
So here we go. 2nd and 12. See Bolden bringing it to the left side, cuts it up himself.
Wow.
I'll tell you the one thing you're going to see, he's going to be awful close to the first down. We'll see where
Really
they spot
close.
him. Needed to get just across the 40. It looks like he's going to be just short
of
of the
it.
40. So, but I'll tell you the one thing you see. Watch this.
This is going to be a
He's
speed
bringing
option,
around.
but he
Am I
didn't
gonna-
even look like he
No,
even looked to pitch it.
And I'll tell you, we've seen that 4 or 5 runs today. When he tucks it, he tucks it.
going.
He's a running back. There
And
you go
there
again.
he goes again.
Yeah,
Picks
another
up
nice
first down.
gain for another 8 yards,
For
9
a
yards.
sophomore, he runs hard.
Yeah,
I mean, he's not afraid to stick it up inside there. Probably because when he gets home, his dad will kill him if he doesn't run hard.
He's 6'2", 180 pounds.
Right.
I don't know all the family, but they've got
Got
between
two
him-
Division I.
Yeah, they got linebackers,
Yeah.
cousins, and,
Yeah.
and
We
brothers.
got 2 brothers, and one plays for Miami, one plays for UC.
I think the one might have been transferred. But yeah, that's the one thing we see, right? So there probably is a little bit of a linebacker mentality.
Yes.
Which means even as the quarterback, you still deliver the blow, because there's
So
only 2
Cameron
options.
good on the call here. I mean, he just
Yeah.
gets up. He tried to bounce it outside, but East had that bottled up and maintained the contain. So good
Nice
job.
play there by number 11, Nate Rosario. Rosario's a junior and is the leading tackler by far on this season for Lakota East. So no surprise there.
Showed
We
why
didn't hear
there.
much from him in the first half, but obviously made his same felt there. Here you go. Nice play by Bolden.
Oh, that was great heads up.
Yeah, as long as the lineman stayed on
That
their,
was his
you know,
second progression of read. I mean, he was going to run that and then saw his player out there and got him the football and picked up the first down. So nice play. I mean, he looked to his left. He wanted to go left with the ball. It was covered, and he was going to pull it down and take off running to the right. And he saw his player out there and got him the football, and they got a first down out of it. So really heads-up play by Bolden.
So what you'll notice here, they go right to the line of scrimmage, but it's not a hurry-up. They all look over and get the play call from the sideline just from the line of scrimmage. Allows them to move quickly if they need to. Here he goes. Good patience.
Oh, yeah.
Sees the
Nice
receiver
job.
coming back to him. I think, was that number 5 again, Adrian Davis?
Is that 5 or 1? I couldn't tell. It looks like 1. Yeah, it's 1.
That'd be Caleb Rowell.
Yeah, and it's, again, two pass catchers in a row for Rao. And this is good. I mean, he looks him off, looks the other way, and then he's extending the play, sees it. And good job by Rao coming back
for
to
the
get
ball,
the ball.
yeah.
Yeah, he came back for it and comes up with the catch.
So first down, Lakota West at the 19-yard line of Lakota East.
So, again, a big for both teams, a big series here, I think, is Lakota West wants to get the ball in and get a 2-touchdown lead. East does not want that to happen. They want to try and get him stopped here, try and hold this to nothing more than a field goal at best.
You know, what was nice to see there with Cameron Good, he went to the left. He never got clean and open.
Right.
But because the offensive line had body, helmet on helmet, he was able to move forward, still got about a 3-yard gain without any real hole there.
And there's Bolden right up the middle for the
Into the
touchdown.
end zone.
Wow.
But, you can tell when he decides he's running it. It could be 40 yards in the backfield.
Yeah.
I mean, he tucks the ball. He lowers that.
There's no indecision. He just goes.
And
When
that front shoulder, you can
Yes.
see he's perfectly fine with contact.
Yeah, when he
We're gonna see
makes
it here.
when he makes his mind up, but right here he's gonna go.
Yep.
He just goes, and he gets up in there pretty quickly, gets his head through there, and man, he's through there before East. I think even knows he's got the ball.
That's a nice run by
Very
Mitch
nice.
Bolden for the touchdown, and that's big now, right? I mean, the way
Yep.
this game has kind of gone, it's interesting. Lakota West started poorly in the first half, recovered, played really strong for a while, almost gave up a late score,
Right.
but were able to hold off. Lakota East came right out and we're going to see this touchdown again. There he is, Bolden. He just lowers the shoulder and
He goes. I mean,
runs
just
right through. I mean,
explosive through
barely
there.
touched. I mean,
Yeah.
pretty nifty runner as well as a strong
Yeah.
runner.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
But, yeah, he's running hard. I mean, when he makes a decision to go, he goes. There's no hesitation to it, which is hard. You know, who wants to hit that?
Yeah.
You got a guy moving that fast, that big. It's tough to lower your shoulder and try and knock him down.
They list him at 6'2", 180 as a sophomore, so
Right.
that's so definitely.
And he's quick. I mean, he gets up in there.
You know, it's nice to see. So Lakota West, they weathered that storm in the first half, ended the half 14-7 lead. They weathered this first drive by Lakota East and then turned around, went right down the field, 70 yards for a touchdown.
Right.
How demoralizing are you now for Lakota East? So the last two times you've had the ball on offense, you took it almost all the way down the field before the half, missed a field goal,
Couldn't
got
get
it
in.
blocked. Took the ball all the way down the field on the opening kick of the
Got the
second half,
penalty.
got the penalty, and didn't score. And then the result of all that, you're down 21-7.
You're down 27.
Has to be pretty demoralizing for Lakota East.
It has to be.
So we'll see what happens here. I mean, I would say, well, you know, they're not a team that can come back much, but Kaufman's been on the money throwing the ball.
Well, but he has been. But Lakota West defense hasn't broke at all. They've bent, but they haven't broke.
Whoa, first time to try to return a ball. High kick to the 3. Nice return out
So
to
they
the
get to the
20-yard
20-yard
line.
line, so it doesn't matter.
I didn't see the flag late there.
It might be a face mask by the way the kid went down and kind of got the hands up in there high. So I'm not sure what that is.
Kind of see what happened here. That would obviously be a huge break. If well, actually, this penalty for either team is going to be a huge break because either if it's East and they get put back inside their, we'll see what we got. Personal
West didn't
foul.
look at, face mask.
So horse collar is what they're calling
No,
it.
okay.
He tackled him around the head.
Yeah,
I
got
guess.
him up. I think he got up inside
Yeah,
the
we'll see.
shoulder pad.
We'll see here what it is.
Now, that's what I thought from up here. I thought I saw a face mask, but he didn't get the face mask. He's got him by the he had him
around
on the back.
behind the neck there,
Yep.
right? So he tried to drop the hand off there. I think that might have been number
Little
5,
too late.
Adrian Davis.
Yeah.
But that makes it into a really nice return. They're going to start out at the 35-yard line.
This is the best starting field position for East in a while.
And this is huge, right? I mean,
They've got to score here.
They need to do something. I mean, they moved the ball. I mean, they had a chance for the touchdown. Ball was pretty well thrown. Wasn't caught.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with East quarterback. Kaufman's a really good player. I mean, he does everything well. He reads it well. He runs the ball. Obviously, he's their leading rusher, and he's got a nice arm. He throws the ball really well.
So fullback right up the middle for about 2 yards. I tell you, those are the ones that are always interesting to me. You know, when you're in the stands, that's Eric Davis. When you're in the stands, people are like, why do you run that play for 2 yards? That's what sets up this whole offense.
Yeah.
You have to do that.
You got to force the defense to stop that
Defense
play.
has to know. They've got to use those defensive linemen have to tackle that fullback
Yes.
up the middle to make everything else go.
Yes, they do. That is the start to it. And if you don't force them to do that, then you're in trouble.
So you don't need to get a lot of yards there. I mean, it's nice
No.
if you do, but you got to run it to make all the rest of it work because that's the same fake that starts every play.
Oh,
Ball's
wow.
on the
Ball's
ground.
on the
Lakota
ground. West.
What a great play by
Yes.
Lakota. So, but here's the thing. They had somebody in the backfield on the quarterback, and there was somebody standing right by the pitch man as well.
32, is that
So we'll see that again, see what happens here. You're gonna watch that. So linebackers stepped right at defensive line. So 99 Brian Henderson.
Henderson right there? And then
Perfect.
right,
But there
yep.
was 32 for Lakota West, just minding his own business with the pitch man. Looked like Owen Kaufman.
Yeah, Owen Kaufman comes up with it. I mean, but good. If you saw that relationship, I mean, you took the quarterback out, you took the dive back out, and Owen was out there with the pitch back, and that's why he comes up with the play.
And the quarterback couldn't pitch it because it would have been pitching as much to Kaufman as it was to
It's
the
absolutely right. That was
back.
as good a defense of playing against the triple options I've seen. That was a good job by West.
So-
And they come up with a turnover.
So this could be the dagger here. You're talking. I mean, I get it. It's only 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, but
Going for the dagger quick as you're going to throw the football.
going to run it all the way around. Almost came down with it.
Almost came down with it, yeah.
So what's kind of interesting here, you're going to see he comes in motion all the way. That's Trent Lloyd, who's made a couple nice plays here for Lakota West. Comes all the way around in motion and just keeps looping all the way down the field, and that's who they end up trying to throw back to.
Yeah, it's funny. Bolden going for the nail in the coffin right there, coming out throwing the ball down the field on first down.
I tell you that, and for Bolden, for Mitch Bolden, he wasn't open. He just thought, you know what, my athletes have been better than your athletes. I'm going to throw it up and see if he can make a play.
It almost worked.
And it almost worked. Nice run right up the
Good,
middle.
Yeah.
Looks like
Real
it's going to
close
be.
first down.
Yeah, wow, that was a nice carry. Once again, that's number 25. So Cameron Good's having a nice game. He had 50 yards in the first half. And here's another 10.
Yeah, Cameron just splits it up and gets up in there. Nice job, runs through it.
Nice job by the offensive line. They're not always moving people 5 yards downfield,
No.
but they got a helmet on a helmet. And when you've got good, hard-running running backs, they're hard to arm tackle.
And they're cutting off your block. Yeah,
if
they're
that
reading your
offensive
block.
line's engaged, that arm reaching out is not going to stop these
No,
guys.
we're going to run right through it.
So there we go. That's going to. So the other one was a second and short. That play right there is going to make it a first down. So 1st and 10 for Lakota West, 21-yard line. I mean, this is huge. What does Lakota East do here to try to stop this?
Everything they can.
So we'll see what happens. Looks like we got Brogdon in the backfield along with Mitch Bolden. Going to hand it right up to Brogdon. Not a lot there, but same kind of thing. That's one of the plays that you do run when
It's
you're
a read option. You got to respect that. He's got to hand that ball off. Brogdon takes it up, gets a couple yards or a yard.
So we'll see what happens here as well. See what they.
In comes Cameron Good.
So 2nd and 9, and they do a nice job. They got a lot of different guys touch the ball. I mean, we've seen Lloyd and Davis, and of course Bolden, and right there we've seen Good quite a bit. We've got Brogdon with a handful of carries.
They spread it out, and Bolden's been doing a great job throwing the football.
So no backs here. Wow.
Wow.
It sure is nice when you have a big, strong, athletic quarterback.
Well, it puts so much pressure on the defense when he rolls out like that because, defensively, you don't have anybody watching the quarterback for that. I mean,
Look-
you don't.
So you're going to see from the left side, guy gets there, 72 Bolden, Ed Bolden, just
Bolden.
gets a hand on him enough to allow Mitch Bolden, his cousin,
Yep.
to get loose up the middle. Doesn't get much there, so it's 3rd and 7, but he avoided the big loss and a potential turnover from a blindside hit. So we'll see what Bolden does here. He's going to throw the ball out quick. He and the receiver weren't on the same page.
No.
He and Rao, I believe that was out
Yeah,
here.
Rao had gone down to about the 5-yard line. Bolden threw it about the 15.
So I don't know. Was something? Wow.
I don't know. You bring Hoffman in. I mean, Hoffman got plenty of leg here.
Yeah, Howard has looked good for us
Or
so
Howard.
far. Looks like Bolden was not very happy with his receiver's pattern. I think that must have been some kind of read. And
Something was wrong.
Yeah, one read English and one read Spanish or something.
Yeah. Men are from Mars.
So we're going to see the kick here.
Venus.
This will be 35-yard. 35, maybe 36. Looks like it's going to be inside, so 35.
Yeah, this will go down to the 36-yarder.
Same place Lakota East kicked from right before the end of the half. And
Hoffman's got
didn't
plenty
get
of
a
leg.
chance. So kicks down plenty long from Howard, and it's
Good.
good. And it's good by, 15 yards?
Good by at least 15 yards.
So strong kick from Howard, not surprising. I mean, you've told us about the coaching that he's
The
getting.
Joe Spatafora protege knocks her through.
So I tell you, that's big, I think, for Lakota West.
It's huge.
Right?
That makes it a 3-score game now.
When you get that turnover in plus territory in Lakota East territory, the fact that you get points,
Yes.
you got points. And so if you're Lakota East, it's a little bit of a moral victory for your defense because they started at your
Yeah, they
30
stopped them.
and they only got a field goal, but they still got a field
They
goal.
got a field goal, and that's a problem. I mean, again, you're down now 17 points, and this is not a type of offense where you can get down and come back quickly.
And the key to that is that makes it 3 scores.
Right.
Even 2 touchdowns with the 2-point conversions, you still need the third score.
And they knocked that in with 27 seconds left in the third quarter, so you're only going to have the fourth quarter to go, down 3 scores. Not where you want to be if you're Lakota East in a triple option offense.
And that's probably the biggest variable why a running offense like this is challenged to come back. You don't get many play calls because the clock just keeps running when you're running the ball all the time. So,
Although they've thrown the ball pretty effectively,
They
as Hoffman
have.
or Howard's going to knock that through the back of the end zone.
So 4 out of 5, I think it was,
Yeah,
kicks
yeah.
so far for touchback. So Lakota East
Such a weapon.
are going to have to start at their own 20.
Yep.
If you're Lakota East, I mean, do you drop back and start throwing the ball? I mean,
You
they've
have
had
to.
open receivers.
And I like Kaufman. I would. I mean, I trust him. He's smart. He's made good throws. I mean, he's only put the ball where his receivers can catch it. He's had a couple drops. Henrik dropped the one down there that could have been, a touchdown or at least a first down. And this game may be different as they were driving, opening up the game or opening up the half. Could be different if they would have scored there.
So Lakota West looked like they're a little confused. A little different formation here from East. Lakota West is going to use one of their 3 timeouts this half, up 17 points into the third quarter. Not a bad time to use a timeout as opposed to making a big mistake.
So West continuing their shutout from the defensive perspective. I mean, they did not score on the defense. It was a muff punt in the end zone, so it ends up being a touchdown. But West has not given up a touchdown, 2 weeks now, maybe 3, going back to. I guess somebody scored on him. Maybe Mason scored 7 points on him, but They have not given up much in the way of points this year.
No, yeah, that's definitely been one of their strengths. I'll tell you what is interesting also, we've been talking a lot about the success of the Lakota East passing game. Let's also backfill. In the first half, that great passing game we talked about, I mean, they threw for 94 yards. This wasn't a Joe Burrow, LSU type of offense out there. It was, for Lakota East, it was tremendous. But it's not like they're throwing the ball all over the place on Lakota West.
Hendrick misses there, but here's the problem you got if you're Lakota East. Those passing is pretty effective.
We're going to see this. So he's just back in a shotgun.
But you watch the defensive line now attacking. They know he's going to throw, so they're going after him a little bit. And Hendricks just missed that ball's a little bit high.
Yeah, that was way high. Right?
The problem is you can't run play action and believe it now. That Lakota West will let you run the football you want now and chew up as much time as you can. East is in kind of a throwing motion, so the defensive line's going to run, pin their ears back and come. And this is just not a throwing. Will they be as effective throwing the ball now?
And that's one of those situations with Kathman. He's looked really good throwing the ball so far. Of course, now he's going to get taken down for.
But they're not believing. But West is not believing in run right now. Yeah, right. They know they got to throw the football. They're down too far.
So Kathman went back to pass, but pressure was pretty early from Kuwach on one side and I think Kaufman on the other side. He did fall forward, scrambled forward, gained about 3. So it's going to be
a tough kid. I mean, like I said, he's a good. I'm really impressed with him. He's a good athlete.
So here we are at the end of 3 quarters. It's Lakota West 24 and Lakota East 7.
And we end it. We're going into the fourth quarter, so we'll be back to bring you the fourth quarter.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, how you doing?
Westchester wants to know, when do my smoke detectors expire?
Well, smoke detectors are only good for about 8 years. And you can always tell when they're over that date because they have a manufacturer's date on the back of them. So once they hit 8 years old, go ahead and replace them. And they're really important in your home because smoke detectors are the first thing that's going to let you know that there's a fire in your house. And you should check your batteries every 30 days and replace the batteries every time you change your clocks. So change your clocks in the spring and the fall, change your batteries. So if you have any questions for Westchester Wants to Know, please go ahead and check on our social media, Twitter, Facebook, and submit your questions, and we'll find somebody that can get you the answers.
Welcome back to Lakota West Firebird Stadium, where Brent Phelan and Dan Zeverick are here to bring you the fourth quarter of the Lakota West, Lakota East state playoff game.
So you saw just there the newly being built high-rise for Kimba Credit Union.
Kimba Credit Union,
8-story high-rise building. They're in construction just across the Union Center from here.
That's right. You got a good shot of that there as we're coming back.
So 3rd and 6, big play for Lakota East, 12 minutes to go in this titanic struggle. Kaufman back to pass. Wow.
That's it. You sacked.
Not much there at all. That was great pressure again from Cam Vargas, 44, linebacker.
Yeah, came on the blitz. And again, they know they got to throw the football, so they're bringing blitzes. This is easy for a defensive coordinator to call this. East doesn't have much. They knocked the helmet off. Or no, they didn't. But, man, that was a good play. So
what we see is 3 defensive linemen for Lakota West are being blocked by 5
yes. Well, then they're bringing
linemen.
blitz.
So then the linebackers are coming and getting through pretty easily. Yeah. Like West started early in the game, Lakota East is going to be punting from back near their own end zone. See what happens here. Lakota West is going to fair catch it inside Lakota East territory.
So inside, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to start around the 43-yard line.
43-yard line with a 17-point lead. And I think you're going to see a lot of run here. I mean, West is going to try and bleed clock. I think that, shorten this game as much as they can.
So, a solid punt, good height, good hang time, fair catch. But in spite of that, they're going to start at your 43, up 17 points with 11 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah, that was good coaching there as you saw the Lakota West outside guys coming in to block that. They pulled up quickly, not wanting to get a roughing the kicker call.
Right, that's the key, right, is to try not to give them any
help.
And I'll tell you, we're going to, the statistics were pretty significant in West's favor. After 2 quarters, after 3 quarters, it's even more dominant. Lakota West, after 3 quarters, is up to 271 total yards. Lakota East is only at 194.
Wow.
Lakota West has run for 32 carries for 197 yards.
Well, almost 200 yards on the ground.
Lakota East does have 113 yards passing, but remember they had 94 in the first half.
Right.
So,
And they're not going to, it's going to be tough for them to get much more passing because, again, West knows they're going to run. They don't have to respect the run, and they can, just bring everybody after them and get people covered.
Bolden's going to keep the ball again himself, so still on his feet. That was
Wow.
it looked like he was going to be taken down for a gain of a yard or so, but Mitch Bolden, was able to
pick up about 6.
keep his feet, make it third and a lot more manageable by the time it's all done. Probably about 3.
Nice cut there.
So here you go,
Keeps
keeps his
driving
feet
it.
driving. Didn't touch down.
No, he didn't. He kept going. He picked up an extra 5 yards.
That was a great effort by Mitch Bolden, and we've seen that a lot today. He's a pretty solid runner.
If you're Lakota West, or Lakota East, you don't want to see that.
Now, here's a big play for Lakota East. I mean, I know they're down 17, but if you have any thoughts of
You
getting
got
back
to
in
stop
this,
them here.
you got to stop them here, 3rd and 3.
And are you
outside
in
of field
2-down
goal range.
territory if you're West? As close as you are, if you can pick up a yard or 2 here, do you go for it on 4th down just to keep the football and let the clock run?
Yeah, because if you get less than 3 yards, you're talking a 50-yard field goal, so that's probably
Right.
I don't know.
Well, but
Matthew Howard
Yeah,
has
Howard
shown a
can
lot
do
of
it,
leg.
yeah.
But I
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm sure Spatafor will say go for it.
But I'm thinking if you're talking 4th and 1 or 2 at their 30, you go for
you
it, right?
gotta go.
You've run for 197 yards in 3 quarters.
Yep, you got to go for it just to keep the ball, keep it out of East's hands. They can't score if they don't have the football in their hands, and time's running out. The time is definitely becoming the enemy of Lakota East right now.
So this is a big stand. 3rd down in your own territory, probably just outside of field goal range. You have to stop them on these 2 downs to have a chance.
Right.
It doesn't mean if you do stop them, you're going to be back in the game.
No.
But that gives you a chance. If they get this 1st down here and go down and score,
You cut it to 10.
you
got a chance.
If Lakota West scores on this drive,
It's over.
it's over.
Hell,
so-
if Lakota West runs another 5 minutes off the clock, it's over.
Because that's the thing. The likelihood of Lakota West from the 36-yard line, the way today's gone, that's
Yep.
6 or 7 plays, which is probably 4 minutes, which is half the remaining game
I
time.
mean, if West can hold on to this for another 3 or 4 minutes, it's over. I mean, you're getting down to a point where no way can an option-style offense get back that quickly.
So here we go. You still see Mitch Bolden back there. He's been your top runner today, but he's going to hand the ball off to the left side. Nice block. Well,
That's a touchdown.
so
Game's over.
it's a touchdown. I tell you what,
And
Cam
Cameron
Good
Good.
runs the ball to the left side outside, and we got to get some credit to that offensive line because once he
They've
got the
worn 'em
corner,
down.
there was
Shabola,
nobody
yeah.
coming around. And
Nope.
that's Shabola's side, right? 77.
Yep, 77. Shabola just
You're going to
knocks
see
people off.
they got 2 ends on that side or a flank.
They pulled a couple people on that.
Look at
I mean,
that. So basically, he sent everybody to the left side, and he outruns Rosario for the touchdown. Cam Good, he's had a nice night as well. We're going to see Matthew Howard with the extra point. He's been shown strong laying all night. I was going to say he's been perfect all night. I didn't want to jinx him, so I
you can
waited
just
until he
tell
kicked
the,
it.
The kicking game has been coached extremely well. As Joe Spatafora, you can see that no missed extra points. Got a field goal from 35 yards out. Just well coached. It's obvious.
So here we go. We're gonna see this again. So Mitch Bolden is going to hand the ball on the inside
Good, just a
handoff
sweep
to
to
Good
Good,
on the
yeah.
sweep. They're bringing everybody coming that direction. He gets to the corner, gets it that outside
He
leg
catches
planted,
the edge and he's gone.
and that's the thing. That's what we're seeing with Lakota West. If you give them a crease,
Yeah,
they've got some good, strong running backs.
Sure they do.
And both Good and Bolden have shown it time and time again. Lloyd with a couple really nice plays from the receiver side, or
Right.
even I think he had an 8-yard run.
But as good as those guys have done, they're statistically look good. To me, it's the offensive line.
It has
They have just dominated East up front, and that's where it's coming from. Their offensive line. If you want to give a game ball to anybody right now, you give it to all 5 offensive linemen because they've done a great job blocking, both run blocking and pass blocking.
What's interesting is Matthew Howard lines up for the kick, leading 31-7. So far, all but one have been touchbacks. We'll see what he does for us this time. Looks like
he'll give you another one.
booming kick through the end zone.
Yep.
Again, I know we've talked a lot about it the last 2 weeks. That's a weapon. When you make the other team start at the 20-yard line in high school, I don't know what the statistic is for how rarely do they score a touchdown.
After starting at the 20, I don't know.
But it's got to be pretty significant.
It's a heck of a lot better than starting at the 35 or 40, I mean, your chances of a touchdown are a lot better if you're starting at the 35, 40-yard line, which is where Lakota West has been able to start.
So here we go again. Defense out there. Defense, as you said, although it's 31-7, they've pitched a shutout.
Yes, they have pitched another shutout. This defense remains, unscored upon. And that's the other thing. You were 17 down. Just to try and score that many points on Lakota West seems like a daunting task.
That hasn't happened this year.
No.
So
They haven't given up that many points all year.
Yeah, they gave up a decent amount of points to Hamilton, but they also
13?
scored 40 whatever
Yeah,
in the
44
game.
or something, yeah.
So,
And I'm sure that was a lot of JV at the end of that game that probably gave up some points.
so there you go. Look like Eric Davis running the ball up the middle there for 3, which is what we've seen a lot of.
If I'm Rick Hayes here, I'm just going to stay to my game plan. I'm going to run option. I'm going to run what I do best and try and put a drive together, score a touchdown. But if you do that, it'll about run the clock out.
And the thing is, they've done a good job so far. Here goes Kathman out to the side. Wow.
Wow, what a play.
So nice play again there, right? Is that number 19 with the receiver there? That was a pretty good play. It looked like he was just kind of throwing it up for grabs because the pressure was so hard on him.
Well, he's been accurate with him. I'm really impressed with his quarterback from East. He was on the run. He had a lot of pressure on him, and he delivered the ball with great accuracy to the receiver, and comes up with that was a great play. I'm really impressed.
John Scott caught the ball with his hands right at the sideline and got the hands up there. Didn't try to bring it to the body,
but extremely accurate by Kaufman. He's a good football player. He can come back on a little throwback,
run, and make a big play out of it.
Yeah,
so that's good. We'll see where he actually. It looks like he did not step out, so he advanced. That's Jordell Smith. Nice gain, and you know what? Kaufman's going to have some pretty good passing stats.
Yeah, he's going to have real good passing stats.
Just throws it out quick. Good ball gets it to him in zone to make a play. Not great tackling on the front end, but good. Number 11 there for Lakota West. Josh Fussell did a nice job chasing down. Didn't make the play on the front end. Didn't give up on the play and tackled him down. Even though it's for a first down. First and 10 at Lakota West 40-yard line.
Yeah, but this is a very distressed. This is not what Lakota East practices week in and week out, this many pass plays. This has got to be some kind of record for Lakota East passing in football. I've never seen Lakota East since Rick Haynes has been here to throw this many times. But if I had that quarterback, I would. I think you're wasting him if you're not throwing the ball.
Through 3 quarters, he was 6 of 11 for 113 yards.
Yeah, if he come back next year, is he a junior?
He is.
Oh,
He's
wow.
a junior, yeah. And so is Kendrick, made a lot of catches. He's a junior. John Scott, the receiver here, is a senior. Makes a nice catch here, but
this was tough. He's on the run, throws it running. Look at the accuracy. Puts it right there where only Scott can catch the ball. Scott goes up, makes a great play.
Nice play on the ball. That's 2 nice catches for Scott.
Yep.
So here we go. First and 10 from the 40-yard line.
But again, I don't think you're worried if you're West of running the football. So those 3 down linemen are coming. Putting pressure.
Here comes pressure out of the outside. Just throws it up again.
That's going to be, he didn't look back.
No, right?
He just ran through him. The East receiver stopped.
Yeah, Jackson.
He didn't get his head around. He just runs through him.
Number 33 was in good position, but didn't know where the ball
Bolden
was.
not appreciate or doesn't agree with it. In high school, it's a little different, though. It's not a spot foul. It's going to be a 15-yard foul.
So that was kind of an interesting one there where he's in really good position, but we'll see if he actually runs into him.
Look at this. This is such a difficult throw. He's running to his left, and he's going to throw across his body, and he's pretty accurate with it. That was relatively catchable. Came a little short, but, he ran through him.
Was there a lot of – but the ball hit the defender in the back.
But he wasn't looking. He just kind of ran through.
But was there contact before the
ball
got there?
No. Yes.
Must have been.
Yes.
Right? There must have been some there.
If it hit him in the back, he was contacting him at that time. So he didn't allow the receiver to come back to the ball.
So we'll see first and 10 from the 25-yard line. They're going to run right up the middle, try to rip it out. You see there from Lakota West, gain of about 3. Again, not a whole lot there, and we're fast approaching 8 minutes. So the Lakota West fans a little.
I'd like to see a replay there. There's a lot of yelling and screaming about something that happened.
A little annoyed
up on the
there.
corner out there, and
we've seen several. We've seen a couple of those called on Lakota West. Some more plays haven't happened. Actually, it's interesting. Early in the first half, Lakota West offensive lineman 30 yards downfield were blocking, got a penalty. We talked about that as an offensive line coach. You're not that upset the offensive line has made up for it time and time again since then.
I don't know what happened, but Bolden is giving the official on the sidelines a lot
So
of
here you go,
crap.
Kaufman back to pass.
There's that
Out to
same play. They've
Kendrick
run that a
again.
couple
Good
times to
tackle.
Kendrick, yeah.
But still, it's on second and 7, gains about 5 more yards.
Right.
Although the clock does continue to run.
That's an effective play for them. I mean, they've just got 3 receivers out there, and they run Kendrick up underneath it.
It's just down 24.
Everybody goes out, and then boom, there he is coming out.
Good play, but down 24 points.
Yeah. You're
with
going to give
under-
that up all day
Yeah,
long.
with under 8 minutes, you got to probably do something
You're
a
down
little
to
different.
7 by the time they get this thing snapped. So East quickly running out of time to try and get anywhere near that 31 points that West has on the board.
So here we go. Interesting. Kaufman under center, I think, for the first time or one of the few times tonight. Unbalanced line left. They're going to run the ball right up the middle. It was third and fairly short, third and
So
3.
they're trying to pick up first. I don't know that he got there.
I
I
don't
think
think
it's
so.
going to be
Looks like
fourth
it's
and
going to
about
be
a half a yard.
Yeah, with 6:51 to go, down 31-20.
Nope, they're calling a first down.
He did get it.
They're calling him a first down. They spotted the ball right there on the yard line on the 15, and that was enough for the first down.
So here we go, 1st and 10 from the 15. Clock still running, 6:45 to go. Lakota West 31, Lakota East 7 here from Firebird Stadium. Looks like a little confusion from Lakota West or Lakota East. They re-huddle. Play clock down to 10. They only have 1 timeout left, so I'm guessing they're going to need to get right there and get it snapped because they certainly can't use a penalty or a
Kaufman
timeout.
does.
Kaufman way back, scrambles, does a good job. Realized the pressure came from that.
Oh, got hit. Oh, he got
They have
hit.
caught it. We'll see what happens in the end zone. See what this still no signal. Touchdown.
Touchdown,
Lakota
yeah.
East. Nice
Boy,
catch.
Boy,
Yeah,
Kaufman took a big hit. I didn't really see what happened with the ball after that, but I was watching Kaufman. He gets drilled, and I'm surprised he didn't get a flag.
we'll see this. He gets the ball in there. Number 14, Jack Hartman, the leading receiver for Lakota East, gets there. So there he goes. He steps,
Does a good job extending the play. Boom, gets hit right there, and yeah,
makes a nice.
touchdown.
I mean, right. The coverage is right there on Hartman,
Yes.
and Hartman makes the catch. That was a well-thrown ball.
Well thrown ball under a lot of pressure. He knew he was going to take a hit and did, and it was very close to getting a penalty call on that.
So here we go with 6:14 to go. Kick is good. Not quite what we're seeing from the other side from Matthew Howard, who's been booming them through.
Right.
But it counts just the same. So 6:14 to go. Lakota West 31, Lakota East 14.
So they are able to pierce the defense and get a touchdown on the board.
So they may be on life support, but they're still
Right.
alive.
They are still alive. I'm wondering what 6:14 left to go in the game. Do you kick an onside here?
You only have 1 timeout left. Also, Lakota
Yeah, that's
Lakota West
difficult.
has shown the ability to run the ball and run the clock. You haven't stopped them much.
And this is where you have to, if you look at West, and I'm sure they're telling them right now in special teams, you got to be on that crazy little huddle they have right there. He can just run out and kick it real quick, and you get some funny little gadget onside kicks here. So you got to be ready.
Now, let me ask you this. Why wouldn't you go for 2 there and cut it to 16?
I don't know.
I mean, right? Because now you're still 3 scores down.
That's a good question. I don't know why. I mean, analytics tells you should
You
because you'll have
should.
2 scores.
I mean, I get it. The likelihood of getting 2 more scores is pretty small. The likelihood of
and
making
2 point.
2-point conversions is next to none.
Right.
But at least you want to think. But that
You
is
want
now.
thinking that.
Now you need the ball 3 times, not twice.
Right.
So I mean, so the one side of me says, had you gone for 2 there, you definitely onside kick because you're playing to try to get there.
Right.
By not doing it,
You've kind of given it up.
Or maybe they just made a tactical mistake.
Yeah, you're
but
17 down, and there's no way in 6:14 run the offense they run to get there.
so I don't know. I mean,
There it
there's
is.
the onside kick attempt. Lakota
West
West
was
falls
right there
on
and ready for it,
because I
yeah.
don't think there's a downside to it. Whether you give the ball to Lakota West at the 47-yard line or, inside the 30.
Right.
Um,
Pops
Yep.
right up to the West guy, who grabs it and goes down.
that looks like Adrian Davis was that number
Yep,
5 up there.
Number
So
5 Hams team was up
obviously, yeah, they were expecting the onside kick.
there. And it's that little bunch, the kicker just turns around, runs up there, and everybody takes off.
So there we go. Lakota West, right? 6:14 to go. They have the ball up, still up 17 points.
With the football and you.
And Lakota East hasn't shown much ability to stop them lately.
No, you're gonna see a lot of run here. I don't think I'm pretty sure he's not going to put the football in the air at this point. There's no need to. Just run the ball and let that clock eat away. And East can't stop it. I mean, like you said, they got 1 timeout left, and he's running the football, and that's going to,
I think that might have been a holding penalty called there on Lakota West. We'll just see. Nope.
That's almost okay.
No,
It's a face mask. So that's going to pick up the first down.
No, I think they're going to call it the old incidental 5-yard face mask.
Okay.
So here he comes all the way around the outside, Adrian Davis. They gave
there it is.
They gave him a little bit of.
Yeah, he just grabbed a little bit and let go.
I guess they threw him a bone because he didn't do a nice job on the onside kick.
There you go.
So here we go. Here they're.
So you've got second down and about 2 or 3, and again, I don't think you're going to see the football in the air again. From West's perspective, the rest of this game, he's going to let the clock go down.
So they're resetting the game clock to 5:51 because there was a penalty on that last play.
Right.
So now the other thing they're confused on. I mean, it's still a first down. Obviously, you can't use a face mask to take away a play for the other team.
Right.
So it becomes first and short.
First and really short.
But that's the thing that's a little bit weird because if you think about it, then it would be a good idea to face mask them downfield because they still lose the play.
Right.
So now they're a little confused, trying to figure out, I'm sure, is it 1st and 10? Is it 1st and 5? 1st and 3? Because what happened is he got the advantage of the yard on the play, which is 1 yard, plus the 5-yard penalty.
So you got 1st and 6 or 1st and 4.
So that's where they're, where they're at. A little bit of confusion there, but they got it right, making sure they got it there.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it would end up still being a penalty against the offense for you having a penalty. So here we go, 1st and 4 for Lakota West, now into Lakota East territory.
Sounds like Mitch Bolden time. Little fake handoff and let him go.
No, it looks like they're going a little more traditional, just run the ball.
Straight dive, and he's going to pick up the first down and more.
It's hard in Rosario 11, one of the tacklers, 20. Thornhill again involved in the tackle. Boy, he's came to play tonight.
Yeah, they don't have to snap this till right around the 5-minute mark.
Offensive line.
They're going to stand there and let that count down. And,
give some credit again to the offensive line. 72, Ed Bolden. Saw 54, the center. Connor Hudson were involved there. 77, Tegra Shaboa on the left side. You see the big man. They've 71 over to the right guard, Cole Barella. They've really done a nice job here. They were trying to wait, but they ended up with a false start. They were trying to obviously run as much clock as possible.
That's a long time to have those offensive linemen down a 3-point stance, and they ended up getting it. But they got inside of 10. They're Bolden standing there looking at the 25-second clock.
We're going to see the replay here. You're going to see just.
But they've been there for a while. Those offensive linemen have been at 3-point stance for a long time.
And there you see the flinch over on the right side because he was pulling coming around.
Yep.
Look at it, might have been number 73. Lathan McComas, who's done a great job.
Yep. Well, the whole offensive line's been fantastic tonight.
I tell you what, when you have somebody like Tegra Chabot at 6'6", 300+ pounds, and then you pull other guys coming that way.
Wow. It's funny you were saying that. I just watched Tegra Chabot just destroy his guy. I mean,
and they were running it the other way.
That a replay, yeah, they ran the other way. But Tegra Chabot, watch it down here on the bottom part right there. Boom. And then he just buries him. You see him right there.
But
Boom.
look at that.
There
71's
he
got
goes.
his guy stood up. And I tell you what, Good runs through a couple tackles there. I mean, give him credit also. Here's another guy, should have made it, for very little gain.
Right.
Turns that. Good hit from 44 there.
Stay in bounds, young man.
Good hit. 44, Justin Katana made a nice play to bring him down.
But
Here we go. Second and short. Going to try to run the ball around the – look at that. Look at that. I mean, just by extending the play, his linemen were still moving downfield.
Moving people down the field.
It wasn't a huge gain, but
long enough. But he's using up clock. I mean, you're going to get down.
Yeah, using clock and didn't get hit till right there.
Yeah, I mean, they can hold it. They can go under 4 minutes here before they even snap the ball, and it's third down and an inch.
So, third and short. Do you think they might be, I mean, are they overthinking a little bit, like with that false start? I mean, are you better just to say, you know what, let's get the play out there and run the play versus trying to run every last second here? I mean, the way Lakota West is going, they're likely to end up running this into the end zone.
Yeah, the way things are going.
The way they've been
they're
dominating
dominating
right
up
now.
front.
I mean, they're gonna be pushing 300 yards of rushing.
They snapped that at one. With
that's
1
great,
second left.
right?
Yeah.
If you can do that, and of course, there's another nice run. 25 gains about 3, but it was 3rd and 1.
Third and an inch. Yeah.
So
first down.
First and 10, and the clock will, as soon as they reset these chains.
So if you're Coach Bolden, you got to like this drive. I mean, they're eating up the entire group. They're answering that touchdown, with a long, drawn-out drive to just kind of suck the life out of East.
I also saw 16 Champ Gillespie at tight end. Let's make sure we give credit to some of these other guys for blocking. We see some of these other guys, Caleb Rao, number 1, downfield a little bit. It's definitely a team effort in there. There we go. Runs the ball up the middle, gains about, 3 or 4?
I don't see Mitch trying to keep the ball as much now, knowing that it's going to go in there. Everybody knows it's going to run. He's just,
That's
here, Cameron, go. And
That's
that
Josh
was,
Brogdon.
That was Brogdon. But here, go run up in there, and I'll stand back here and watch you.
So we've seen and that's what you do, right? You just settle in and just run the ball, and they're able to they're running the ball.
And you don't want to get your
successfully.
quarterback hurt here either. You don't want him running the ball here. This is nothing but a good time to get him hurt. So if I'm Coach Bolden, I'm telling Mitch, just hand the ball off. Don't try and get hurt.
So there you go. You can see the clock there under 7, 6, counting down. Under 5, good time to snap it. At 3, they snap the ball. Hands off up the middle. Brogdon again.
Get some good yardage.
I tell you what, everybody they hand the ball to falls forward.
Yeah.
And when you're in a running offense, and if you're right, you get the ball 3 times,
Then
and you
he's
fall forward an
yeah.
extra yard.
Then he's
It's
forward.
hard not to get 3rd and shorts, and here we go, 3rd and 2.
Brogdon, nice cut, finds the hole, and there you see offensive linemen just blocking up in those holes and continuing to block right there. Shabola just
still going.
killing guys.
He pulled, didn't do a great job of hitting the guy square.
Right.
So you tell he's a little frustrated. So he continued to block him after the
Back
fact.
and
There, right?
mauled him.
He got the points for
I'd hate
effort.
to see that big man coming down at me.
So there we go, right up the middle, nothing there. But wow, nice job. So there you go. He got stopped maybe for.
No, yeah, but he ended up picking the first down up.
Maybe for that would have been 4th down, but he spun and let's see if he's okay here now. That would be scary if Cam Good is injured.
You don't want him hurt either.
I think we might see him back out of there and Brogdon run the ball a
I
little
think
bit more.
Brogdon's going to come back in for the rest of the game.
Yeah, 1st and 10 inside the 15-yard line. But it was really a nice run. He was stopped short, spun, and was able to fall
Break through and
get
got
forward
through, yeah.
for the 1st down.
So it's 1st and goal because they're just outside the 10, or is that?
Yeah, about 13-yard line. So here, just fast approaching a minute 30 to go. See what Lakota West does here. Do you try to score?
Brogdon. Yes.
And there you go. He doesn't give up either.
I think they'll try to score if they can. 38 to 14 is a lot better than 31 to 14. So,
but here's
your rivalry and you're sending messages, right?
But here's where you're at now. Now is where you definitely don't snap the ball. No. So really, if you do this right, you probably only have to snap one more time.
Right. That's right.
You're going to be able to snap around 40. The play clock is 40 seconds from the end of a play.
Right.
So, right,
and it's 35 seconds, I think, is what they put back on there, right?
So you're going to be close that by
There's
the time
no
they get
reason to
spotted.
snap it, yeah.
So I'm thinking you're going to get one more snap. Here you go. They're
going into victory.
Good
classy.
And I'm
nice
sure Matt
classy
Miller
move.
and the folks at the central office appreciate that.
Yes, I think so too. No, that's it. Yeah, the game clock and the play clock are blow. There's no reason to run another play.
I tell you, game effort by Lakota East. I mean, they came to play tonight.
They did.
They got a couple early starts, looked good at it, just couldn't finish it off at that point. And then once Lakota West got rolling.
Kathman tried to put this team on his back offensively and do some stuff. He threw the ball pretty effectively. They couldn't run the football at all because, again, I think, the defensive front for Lakota West is too strong. I mean, nobody can run against them. So there's there's nothing, no shame in not being able to run against Lakota West defense.
So as the clock expires, Lakota West 31, Lakota East 14. Lakota West advances to a home game again next week in the playoffs.
Okay. Do you know who they play or the winner of who?
Not sure who that matchup was tonight as well, but
they could be playing Coleraine.
But I'm Brent Phelan.
And I'm Dan Zebrink. We'll
So
see you next week, hopefully.
Good night, everyone.